And good afternoon, everyone. We are here for the Mariners versus Astros series finale. This will be the final series between the Mariners and the Astros. But unfortunately, the Astros have already won the series, and they now have a one-game lead on the Seattle Mariners by one game, which the Mariners had a 10-game lead on, and then they pulled a 95 California Angels on steroids. Anyway, Steve, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. And no, I'm going to push back on you. They didn't pull a 95 California Angels. They pulled a 2024 Seattle Mariners. That's what they did. But, listen, here's the thing. In and around the fact that they've lost 5 in a row, they've actually gotten pretty good starting pitching. Julio looks like he's starting to come out of whatever funk that he is. Hitting 496 over his last 8 games, 4 home runs, 8 RBIs. So, I mean, there is some positive. Last night, George Kirby pitched well. It was a bullpen gaffe that cost the Mariners last night. So there are signs, but the one thing I think you and I both agree today is a must win, an absolute must win. They have no choice but to win this game. You mentioned they're one game back in the standings. Absolutely, they can get back to. They can get back to even with a win today, and they desperately need it. 100%, they desperately need it, and they need Brian Wu to be good Brian Wu, and not the Brian Wu we've seen over his last 3 starts. So this is going to be a little bit challenge, considering that the Astros are throwing Ronel Blanco at him, who has pitched absolutely well this year. So this is going to be a tough test for this Mariner offense. But I think you and I both agree that today's a must-win.
It is an absolute must-win because we cannot rely on the Angels series being, and even if the Angels are swept by the Mariners, Astros are still playing at Oakland, so that may just offset. But the good news after that, and now that we're looking 2 ahead, Astros will be playing against the Dodgers, and Mariners will be playing, I believe, in Chicago. So
right,
this is proof that. Yes, we were on panic mode, but the season is still far from over, so there will still be opportunities. But it can all start with the Mariners winning, and even then, maybe winning today. If they win today, I might forget about the last 2 games. I might. I'm thinking about it.
Well, I don't think we can forget this last month stretch.
Just 2 games.
It's hard to overlook it, especially these last 2 games, as you mentioned. But I will say this, that this was the time last year where the Mariners going into the trading deadline really kind of righted the ship of their season, and remember last August as well too. So this is kind of the time where the second half players. Where they usually make their money start showing up a little bit. But again, this is a team that desperately needs help from the outside as well too. It's not just that Julio, Cal, and JP and all these guys get going, and obviously that's a big part of it. But we saw last year with very little additions what happened in September. So it's going to take a Herculean effort. But that being said, man, it's a 63-game sprint to the finish line, and the Mariners are not done yet. So it's time. It starts with today. Put all that behind you. Put yesterday. Put the last 2 days behind you. Put the 3-game losses in Anaheim behind you. Focus on Blanco today, and handle your business, because it's a 9-inning game just like every other game. And you're absolutely right. You can't focus on the Angels. You have to focus on the Seattle Mariners to get the job done.
We got to focus on just winning this game. And what I would like to see today is hopefully a strong bounce back start of Brian Wu, and please have him go 7 innings, because right now the bullpen is just not there. And now, unless you're using Gregory Santos, then by all means. But even then, 7 innings would be ideal, so you can give the bullpen some breathing room, because they've been in too many high leverage situations. And if it's working for Brian Wu, then don't fix it.
I don't think that's going to happen at all. As a matter of fact, I'm assuming he's going to be on a pitch count, and I would like to think that it's probably going to be on a 90 pitch count. I know his last start in Anaheim, he threw 66 pitches, and I think he only went 4 innings. So I would assume that you're probably going on the high end. It's going to be 6. On the low end, it's going to be 4 or 5. So
let me see where Brian, if there's any updates by Ryan Divitt, because he is the most, as much as I have my disagreements with him, he is on top of all these updates and gotten nothing out of anything if there's going to be a pitch count. But if it does happen, we will not be surprised.
Well, we're also talking about a guy who's recently back from injury again, so I would probably assume that indeed he's gonna have a pitch count. But let me ask you this: what do you think that the keys to victory in your mind for today? I mean, is it going to be like the little things, bunts, moving runners over, getting timely hits? What do you think is going to have to happen for the Mariners to win today?
It's going to have to be, just like we've been saying, it's going to have to be the little things that will do it, because you're not going to get, although Blanco has given up 16 home runs and does walk quite a bit, you still can't bank on it. So it's still, actually, maybe you can go aggressive on this guy, but when things are in clutch situations, like if there's a man on third base with nobody out, I want to see either some kind of a quality fly ball that will at least bring in the run, or just bunt.
Yeah,
bunt by all means.
Yeah. Blanco throws his four-seam fastball 37% of the time, which means he's going to use it to establish himself early in counts. So there's going to be an opportunity to be aggressive early in counts. So if you see one, hit one. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is not going to be the type of game where you're going to try to work deep into counts, because the one thing that Blanco does well is work ahead, and he works ahead quickly. And so, that plan is going to have to backfire. But I 100% agree with you. I like the fact that Victor Robles is not afraid to drop down bunts. I think we've seen it a couple times already in the series where he's willing to do the small things in order to advance runners. I like that in the player that's not afraid to have confidence in the guy right behind him. So I 100% agree with you. It's going to be, if you can get an early runner on, can you move him over? Can you steal bases? Can you put the game in motion that's going to force, the Astros to play defense? Those are going to be, for me, the keys to victory. It's doing the little things, but also actually playing a little gritty, if you know what I mean. Yeah,
of course, for sure. And now
let's go like you do on the softball field. Play gritty.
That's exactly what I do. And, I have an example of a very gritty double play. Here it is.
I had to open up my mouth. God damn it.
You opened Pandora's box, but here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice job. Good plays, guys.
You finished it with a girly jump. What you should have done is turned around and been like, "Let's go!
Let's effing go! Let's do the JP Crawford." but I was at church field, so I couldn't say the LFG anyway.
No, you can't. You don't have to drop the F-bomb. You can just say, "Let's go!
Let's go!" Now let's take a look at the starting lineups for the Mariners today. We got JP Crawford, Victor Robles, who's actually batting .274, so I guess that's why they put him number 2. Sure. Julio Rodriguez, number 3, the spot exactly where I want him always. Cal Raleigh at number 4. Polanco at number 5. He's just looking at his numbers just makes me throw up. Yeah. Josh Rojas, Mitch Haniger, Luke Raley, and Dylan Moore. And I actually did some scoop ups on Mitch Haniger's numbers because I'm trying to compare his numbers to 2010 Ken Griffey Jr. because we all know Griffey was as much as Griffey was loved in Seattle, but it seems that
Junior?
We're talking about 2010 Junior, and I'm trying to look up his numbers, compare his numbers when he doesn't hit home runs because I tried comparing by just numbers flat out, but Haniger was still outplaying Ken Griffey Jr. by a lot, even without with the home runs. But now I'm trying to see what his numbers are without home runs. Let's see if I can find that. And the whole that baseball reference thing's being a little slow or just stinking.
Yeah, listen, man, any situation where there's a righty on the mound, having Mitch Haniger in the lineup is just not a good idea. This is a situation where I don't like Dom Canzone whatsoever, but that being said, this is a situation where you want to have good defense and you also want to have another left-handed bat in the lineup. I'm sorry, but the only time that Haniger should ever play is versus left-handed pitching. Outside of that, I'm not a big fan of the bottom of this lineup whatsoever. So for me, I like 1 through 6. Although I do believe that Rojas and Rayleigh should be swapped out in the lineup. And if you're going to go, you should go Haniger or Rojas more. But outside of that, it seems like it's a decent enough lineup. But, again, Haniger, I hate to say it, man. I know they got to play him because of the money. But, you're really handcuffing yourself by having Mitch Haniger in the lineup.
Sometimes you just got to let it go.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you just got to let him go. And I've already let Haniger go. Like in here, I'm a Haniger guy. In here, like I remember like quintessential Mitch Haniger, like 2016 through 2021. That was my guy. But it's the injuries that have played such a wreck on him. It's such a role that now he's just a shot fighter, and it is what it is. Yeah, Griffey when he was fat.
Yeah, that's the Griffey that everyone wants you to forget. Maybe I'll make a video by saying the Ken Griffey Jr. that everyone wants you to forget.
Yeah, exactly. He has zero. Mitch has zero business being on a team with a playoff.
He really does, unfortunately. And looks like we are about to start. We've got Jose Altuve against the Brian Wu, and this first pitch is brought to you by SeatGeek.
Did you call him the Brian Wu?
The Brian Wu, and here's the pitch. And now that's the pop-up first pitch, and that should be playable. Rojas is there, and he makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out so far. That's what we like to see.
Boom. They got Altuve. They got Altuve out of the way. Perfect.
They got the Hall of Fame hat going. I wonder who got inducted into the Hall of Fame. Maybe it's just Hall of Fame Day in general.
No, hold on. Let's find out.
I think they're talking about Todd Helton, that he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, and it was about time that he got inducted. Took quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I like Helton. It's Helton, Joe Mauer, Adrian Beltre. Beltre for sure, but the problem that I have with Helton, and now granted, this is not anything that it's Helton's problem because he played his career in Colorado. And he was playing in a stadium that, kind of benefits offensive players. But that being said, he put up the numbers. He probably was the best first baseman in the National League for a 10-year stretch there for a while. So, yeah, I guess he deserves to get in there. I guess so.
We're looking at the 1-1 count by Alex Bregman.
But Joe Mauer, that's another one that I don't think Hall of Fame.
No, I didn't think so. And that's going to be a 2-1 count. And one thing I'll remember, the first time I ever saw of Todd Helton was when Jay Buhner threw him out in 2000.
Yeah.
When Helton was trying to go for that double. And we're looking at the 2-1. And now here's the pitch. And now here's a ground ball. And here is to Polanco, the throw to first. And that is in time. That was cutting it close, but good play by Polanco to get in that position, because any other time, that's a base hit. But good play by Polanco. Good heads-up play. Great play.
Actually, you know what bugs me? Because every year there's always going to be inductions that are head-scratchers and ones that make their non-inductions even look worse. Like the idea that Thurman Munson is not in the Hall of Fame, but Joe Mauer is in the Hall of Fame, and Munson career-wise has far better numbers than Joe Mauer. But I think a lot of it's recency bias. I don't think a lot of the writers today saw Thurman.
No, they don't know what they're talking about. And and now we got Yordan Alvarez, one of my top 5 favorite baseball players. I blame Laz Montez for that. Well, and the fact that he grew my YouTube channel too.
Right, he's the poor man. He's the poor man's Laz Montez.
Hopefully someday he'll be the. Let's hope that's the case. Because if he's a poor man's Laz Montez, that means that Montez is a superstar. Yeah, he's exactly what us Mariner fans want, is to be the Mariners' Yordan Alvarez.
Yeah, that's funny.
Luckily, Alvarez has not driven in any runs this season for Houston against the Mariners, batting .290, but no home runs and no RBIs, and he has actually struggled in this series. We got Wayne, first listener. Well, congratulations. Yeah, for his end, yes, but for my end, no. I've had quite a bit of listeners ever since I started. Steve just started.
Is he talking to me?
Yeah, because it's on your end.
Oh,
And also,
like, what does that mean, first listener?
I don't know.
Yeah, like I was confused by the question. First listener, like, no, I've been around for a while, man.
And we're looking at 1 and 2 for Yordan Alvarez. And now here's the 1-2 pitch. Oh, and that hits the dirt, and that's going to be a 2 and 2. That one looked like it slipped out of Brian Wu. And shout out to PD Master for getting out of his wallet to donate to the channel. It's now $3 so far. Let's keep it going. And we're looking at the 2-2.
Is that his name, PD?
Yeah, PD Master. The pitch. And Cal Raleigh really tried to sell that one.
Yeah, the stream just started. I thought I was the first one to live chat. Oh, I got you, Wayne. I got you.
Go to mine too as well, buddy, and subscribe to mine because we collaborate like all the time. Now here's the pitch. And now here's a line drive base hit to right field, and that's gonna be the first hit of the day for the Astros. And Yordan Alvarez is on first base.
Well, let's see. So Biden drops out on National Ice Cream Day. What does that mean? It means that he's
get some ice cream.
It means that he's eating avocado ice cream instead of
strawberry. So.
Ew. Avocado ice cream, huh? That ain't doing it for me. And now we got Yainer Diaz. He's batting cleanup. And Alvarez he kind of taxed up Brian Wu on that one. Don't like it that he's on 12 pitches in the first inning. 287 with 8 home runs is Diaz, and that is going to be right up in the middle for a strike.
Yeah, all I know is, the Democratic Party are screwed. So,
well, I wouldn't. There's that whole thing of never underestimate the opponent. Since you're on, since I don't know the 0-1, and now here is a ground ball to Polanco to toss the first, and that is in time.
In the words of Dennis Quaid from Major League 2, you're screwed, Vaughn.
You're dicked. Oh, my favorite one is first spring training for the Indians. How do you think they'll do this year? Doesn't look too good. These guys don't look too effing good. You're so even to so danzone taxone. Hi. I don't even know if I even said that right. I'm not Japanese.
By the way, that's actually pretty good. Yeah, that's funny. They don't look too funny.
Also, we need a manager that does this. Well, you may run like Hayes, but you hit like shit. What you should be doing is hit the ball on the ground and be legging them out. Every time I see you hit one in the air, you owe me 20 push-ups. No problem. Hits a pop fly. Oh, crap. We need a manager like that. If I was... My idea as manager, if anyone who strikes out humiliatingly has to do 20 push-ups in front of the entire crowd, including away team, for the humiliation. Someone once said, humiliation and embarrassment keeps people in line.
Yeah, that's one way.
That has been long forgotten.
That's one way of keeping accountability within the game.
Yeah, but that'd be considered cruel and unusual. I mean, Roger Dorn would be the first to say that.
That's funny. I'm going back to the other guy's chat. He has better people in there. Okay, well, it's, by the way, you know what, Wayne? Then get more people to come chat with you in the chat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we have a party in here. Oh, he's an Astros fan. I see. It's okay. All fans welcome. I mean, Astro fans actually built my channel, ironically, but before Mariner fans did, because I made a butterfly effect video on Yordan Alvarez, how the Mariners were responsible, and it started with the Eric Bedard trade.
What's funny is he says we are better. Yes, you are.
All fans matter. I like that one. All fans matter. And now here is Ronel Blanco. He has 100 strikeouts, 42 walks.
Chad Lewis, 2.5 hours of offensive torture begins now.
But Chad Lewis, I commend you for keeping up with that membership. So it's all good. As long as you're invested into this YouTube channel, I will put you out of your misery of the Mariners game. And now here's a pitch to Crawford, and first pitch, and that is fouled.
Fastball at the top of the zone, and he can't catch up with it. He literally cannot catch up with a fastball, and he fouls it away. That should have been the other way.
0-1 pitch to Crawford, and that is up high for a ball. And I was looking at that first base slot, which is taken over by Singleton. I really miss Jose Abreu. I miss him a lot because
Yeah.
he
Well,
was
Jose
a
Abreu-
huge 1-1 to JP. And that is popped up. That was just horribly hit. He was like golf swinging that. And that is going to be caught. I did not like that at bat one bit by JP.
Yeah, he did that a couple days ago where he had a fastball low in the zone, and instead of swinging through the zone, he gets underneath it.
Yeah, Lou Brown would be telling him to do 20 push-ups on that spot for that.
Yeah, that was a bad at bat. But here's everybody's favorite. Here's everybody's favorite Mariner of the moment, the flavor of the week, Victor Robles.
Victor Robles, let's see what he can do. Now here's the pitch,
The
and
DFA
that is a fouled back. DFA candidate on any other team. You know, it's crazy. If the Mariners had Jose Abreu, he would still be playing right now.
Jose Abreu started his career a little later than most, and he won his. That was a nice swing.
Nice swing and a miss by Robles. That's what the Mariners have the problems is they chase way too much, including really bad obvious pitches.
And now he's sitting in an 0-2 hole. This is not exactly where you want.
No, it's not. Now here's the 0-2. Now here's the line drive base hit
go.
to left field, and Robles is probably going to go to second base. I think he does left time, and the throw to second, and he is there not in time or in time for himself.
Yeah.
As the ball went away, I was thinking maybe he could have gone to third base, but that should be a confidence booster.
And that's a good piece of hitting too, because it looks like he got something up in the zone right there. And it looked like it was just a hanging off-speed pitch that he just gets his bat out in front and drives into the left field. And by the way, so if Cal Raleigh, Julio Rodriguez, JP Crawford were paying attention, that's how you hit with 2 strikes. You choke up on the bat and you get your bat head out in front of it. And Victor right there pops one into left field for a double.
And now here is Julio Rodriguez up to the plate, and here's the pitch, and a horrible swing and a miss, strike one. You know, Julio, maybe you should watch that Alex Rodriguez segment from Seattle Sports, because you could actually learn a thing or two from that, especially when you said he's your favorite player. And I had a chat with him about that, because when I was getting his autograph, I had a A-Rod shirt. Now here's the pitch, and now here's a fly ball blooper, and that's going to be a diving catch and caught. And the throw to second, not in time. But yeah, I was getting his autograph.
That's actually not a bad piece of hitting by Julio.
It really wasn't. I really thought that was going to do something. But when I was getting his autograph, as soon as I turned around, he noticed the Rodriguez in 3, and he was like, "You need to change that to 44." And I was like, "Wasn't A-Rod your favorite player growing up?" "Oh, that's true, man."
Oh.
So if he really likes A-Rod growing up, you should probably take his advice. And now here's a fly ball to center field, and
that will be that. So
that's
with
great.
Mariners get a nice little
Double.
runner in scoring position there with 1 out, and
it happened. I think that happened less than 60 seconds too.
yeah, you get By the way, I will say this, because both Julio and Cal did get good pitches to hit. Did get the bat head out in front, but it is what it is. 2 very
You would
quick
think that
outs.
maybe this is not saying it's a turning point, but at least it shows that, I mean, they are capable of hitting.
Well, they're making contact, so I guess that's 50% of the equation right there. So
something like that.
it looks like Chad Lewis is a really big fan of this offense.
He really is. And I don't blame him for his loyalties of this offense.
You're a Seattle Mariner when you have nothing good to say at all about anything. God, I love being a Mariner fan. We're collectively.
I feel like everything I love is very Seattle Mariner relevant. The Korean national team runs exactly like the Seattle Mariners, if not worse. And a certain party I support also runs exactly like the Seattle Mariners.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the inner workings of the Korean national team, but that being said, I am a fan of the United States men's national team, and there are certain Mariner characteristics involved with that team.
You have nothing to apologize. If anything, you should apologize for apologizing. There's no reason to apologize. I mean, this is the space for negative comments. We will take it.
You have every right to be with negativity because they do break your heart. Let's be real. I've been watching this club since 1987. I was around for the best years, and I was around for some of the worst years. And one of the things with this team is collectively they will always break your heart because they never capitalize on anything that's good. It almost seems to be like a one-off. And after the 2022 season, we should have had a lot of momentum, and
they should have gotten the Bellinger.
Yeah.
Now here's John Singleton up to the plate, and he is taking it for a 1-0 count. Brian Woo's at 15 pitches so far, and now here's the next pitch, and that is a swing and a miss. Went right through Cal Raleigh, and we're looking at a 1-1 count.
Yeah, I mean he took a pretty decent offense and turned it into one of the league's worst. So
overnight, pretty much. It's crazy to think that the 2023 Mariners would be running away with this division easily.
Ish.
I would think so. They at least had an impact back in Suarez. No, I mean Teoscar. And the crazy thing is,
Teoscar wasn't that big of was not that.
But we'll still take a 2023 Teoscar Hernandez for this offense, and that's painful to say. Now here's the 2-1, and now here's a fly ball drilled to right field, and forget. Oh, that's foul. Thank God. And the fact that he's 1 for 8 in this series makes me feel a little bit more confident that the Mariners can get out of this.
Yeah, it's the thing. It's like, on one hand, yes, the Mariners develop pitching, and that's a very good thing to have, but they have yet to develop really just a pair of
any kind of hitting. And that's my fear is, even if you do call up like Cole Young and all those other guys, it's still going to be the same result possibly.
It's like a lot of...
now here's a fly ball to left field and going back, and he makes the catch.
A lot of people love Cal, and I guess he's clutch. But the thing about it is, it's like, I'll take the consistency of home dude in Baltimore. At least that dude consistently hits and gets on base. Cal is like really feast or famine.
It really is. And that's my fear on like the Laz Montez or the Felnine Celestine or Cole Emerson. Are they going to do the same exact things, and will they suffer the same fate that happened to like Jared Kelnick? I mean, could that happen? Or Kyle Lewis. It's very possible. The pitch.
It's very possible.
Here's a ground ball to third. Here's Rojas to throw to first, and that is in time. And that's Jeremy Pena, who killed the Mariners' hearts in Game 3 of the division series with that home run in the 18th inning.
But we're also talking about prospects that are currently in either rookie ball or an A ball, so
maybe managers will be different by then. And this entire team.
Yeah, dude, I can't handle the platoons either, man. It's like, go ahead, go out and trade some of your prospects and bring in guys that can man the position by itself. Like, I would love to have Isaac Paredes on this team playing.
And here's a ground ball right to JP. The throw to first in time, and an easy 1-2-3 inning for Brian Woo. That's something that we absolutely needed. We go to the bottom of the second. It is still no score. And the man's got to go to the bathroom, I guess. As long as we keep Texas Rangers at 3, we can play this year in peace. I like it. That's something that we have in common is we both hate the Texas Rangers, I guess. Jerry would rather have 10 position players who aren't good in any position but can play many instead of a guy who is great at one spot. Yeah. Teoscar Hernandez winning the home run derby. Yeah. And I will eat my words that I said that not extending that qualifying offer was a good move. I will eat my words on that. So I will take accountability on myself for that. I said that getting Mitch Haniger was a cool move. I said that maybe Jorge Polanco is like, he couldn't do worse than Colton Wong, right? And he's doing almost just as bad as Colton Wong. And while Steve comes back, SeatGeek is a mobile ticketing app for sporting events, concerts, and other events. They make the buying experience easier by the app ranking each ticket from 0 to 10 to see if you are getting a good deal, and you can see exactly where you are sitting. I regularly use that app, and I have had nothing but a fantastic experience with SeatGeek. Use my promo code ROOFTOPSPORTS to get $20 off of your first purchase. Link to the code, app, and website will be in the description, so take advantage, and thank you. Well, yep, use that promo code, and What else do I have on? Oh, I have a video that you may question my sportsmanship. I'll show it in like the next inning, but I gave up a. So here's what happened. I gave up a home run, sadly, but that wasn't the worst of it. So the rule is in a church softball league, you cannot touch home. If you touch home, you're out. And you may question, and after this video, you may question my sportsmanship and ethics. Someone on Instagram pointed it out, and all I said was, my response was, heat of moment and tunnel vision is a thing with adrenaline.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, but that was the right decision not to extend Teoscar Hernandez after last year. Was he after last year? Was he a $20 million a year player? He wasn't. So it was the right move. But that's the thing. If you told me that we could have Teoscar on a 2-year deal at 15 a year, I probably would say yes. I would have done it.
And Polanco's ahead of count as a 2-0 count. And here's the pitch. And that was in the middle, kind of in the middle for a strike. And I think that was his pitch to swing at.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And,
Baseball Hall of Fame inductees, Adrian Beltre, Todd Helton, Joe Mauer, and Jim Leland. He is long due for that. And now Jim Leland, if he's a Hall of Famer, then so should Lou Piniella.
Good Lord, man. Polanco gets a fastball middle, and he fouls it off. God, that was his pitch.
Just like when 2010 Ken Griffey Jr. had a lot of those.
Yeah, but
really bad.
2010 Ken Griffey Jr. was 2010 Ken Griffey Jr. was a shot fighter.
He was a fossil.
Good Lord. And then
2-2. And now here's a line drive caught by Altuve, and that is an out. And I'm telling you, everyone's, when we got Jorge Polanco, I was like, okay, it can't be worse than Colton Wong. He's almost just as bad.
It's unbelievable. Like I have never seen a collective team not being able to hit the fastball quite like this team. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that because of their issues chasing the slider and chasing the off-speed pitches low and away, that now this team, Service has this team not looking fastball, but, making sure that they're protected against the...
And now here's a fly ball to right center field, and that is going to drop in for a base hit, and that's going to be a ground rule double for Josh Rojas.
Attaway, Roji. I just think that, they have this team collectively protecting against the chase, and so they're not looking fastball, so when they get it, they're generally late or they swing right through it. They're like my whole thing. My whole thing is like, I think you were talking this morning about what this team is hitting versus a fastball, and it's like, if you can't hit a fastball in the major league level, you should not be at the major league level.
Just like Mitch Haniger. Oh, and by the way, he's up to the plate. Here's the pitch, and that is a ball. And actually, by the way, what's his name? What's his butt? PD Master. If Mitch Haniger hits a home run in this at-bat, I will refund you what you donated to me. The bet is on the 1-0, and that is another ball.
How about you do it for a seeing eye single? A base hit up the box that scores Rojas. How about you do it then? How about we keep the bet real, like in the realistic point of view? Yeah.
Okay, fine. Let's do it. An RBI anything.
Yeah, an RBI.
And I'll pay you back. And that is a strike.
Chad Lewis back-to-back Ks to strand him, probably.
Maybe that's what I should do. Like, donate to me, but if someone does something amazing, I'll do the refund. I think that'll get more people to maybe do things.
All right.
And the sun's popping now. Here's a 2-1. And we're looking at a 3-1 count for Mitch Haniger. He has the advantage, but he's 0 for 2 in this series. And we definitely need a 2021 Mitch Haniger to come back.
Quick bat.
Do anything to make it work. I would love to give away my $3 back. Here's the pitch, and that is ball 4. Take your base, and Mitch Haniger is on first base with a walk. And PD Master, sorry, you will not get your $3.
Ha, Chad! Back-to-back Ks. Ha!
Yeah, let's do that. Haniger's best quality at this point is a walk.
Is to take a walk, yeah. Yeah, that's by the way, literally and figuratively as well too.
And now we're looking at pretty weird weather. Look at that. Cloudy and sunny at the same time. Now here's the pitch to Luke Raley, and that is a ground ball foul. That could have that could have gone so many ways if that went any further.
Let's go, Luke.
Nuke Rayleigh, we need you to nuke it.
Luke, I am your father.
Except that wasn't even on the script. And we're looking at the 0-1 to the Luke Rayleigh.
It works with anyone named Luke.
Here's the pitch. And that is going to be popped up and fouled and already down to 2 strikes. Career versus Blanco. He is 1 for 2.
By the way, in an 0-2 count, Luke Rayleigh's hitting hitting 061 in 0-2 counts.
Fantastic. I don't think that's something you'd want to say in the analytics department either. And we're looking at the 0-2 for Luke Rayleigh. And that is a ball. He actually thought of swinging at that, and thank God he didn't.
In a 1-2 count, Luke Rayleigh is hitting 143, so the odds just went up.
Woo! And now
he's hitting a $143. Woo!
And now we are looking at the 1-2 pitch. Here it is. And that's going to be ball 2. What's the analytics on that?
Well, I know in a full count, he's hitting 207. He's hitting just above the Mendoza line when it comes to full counts.
Yippee.
Oh, double play ball.
And now we're looking at the 2-2. And now here's the ground ball, play ball, the throw to second, and the throw to first. And he is safe. And that is not going to be a double play. We've got runners at the corner, but we got 2 outs, unfortunately.
I bet a gifted membership if the Astros make it out of the inning without a run. That's funny.
Pretty much.
Was he out? He is safe.
Ooh, that's close.
Hey, I don't know about easily safe. That's really cutting it close.
Ooh, that's a bang play right there. I don't think they're going to challenge this one. I think Luke is going to be at. All right, so here we go. 2 outs, and Dylan Moore. Let's go, Dylan. Quick back.
Dylan Moore, do something, make something happen.
Strike.
And here's the pitch, and that is a strike.
I like Demo when it comes to part-time play. I think you get the most out of him when he's playing part-time. When you're asking him to
play every day,
play every day, those numbers go down drastically. But you know,
the 0-1, and that is outside for a ball, just like the other utility players. Like the only utility player you could maybe play every day was Mark McLemore, but like Willie Bloomquist and Rich Amaral, you could not play them every day. I think they were very matchup dependent.
Willie Bloomquist was so shitty. He was terrible.
Bad. The 1-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Dude, Rich Amaral was actually pretty productive. Same thing with Doug Strange. If you remember Doug Strange, he was
Clutch Strange, home run against
Strange.
Texas.
Yeah, Clutch Strange.
It was very strange when he did it. And we're looking at the 1-2 for Dylan Moore, unfortunately. Now here's the pitch, and that is up high for the ball. And the catcher really tried to do the frame job, but
let's see if Blanco gives him something to keep him honest. Nice little heater right down the.
Make something happen. He's batting .233 with runners in scoring position. And here's a 2-2. And that is up high for a ball. Ball 3, full count 3-2. And JP Crawford's on deck. Oh, God.
Oh, God. Good God.
We're looking at a 3-2 for Dylan Moore.
Oh, Dylan.
The 3-2. And that is popped up and foul. That was his pitch.
That was his pitch, and he gets under it again. He gets something hanging in the zone. And by the way, you know, Dylan Moore of old would have parked that bitch into the left field seats, but
in 2021 with that grand slam.
Yeah, you know, that's just showing you exactly where we're at right now.
The 3-2 pitch for Dylan Moore. And here it is.
Ooh!
And now here's a fly ball to deep left center field, and that is going to drop in for a base hit. A run is going to score, and we got another run coming in by Luke Rayleigh, and we got a 2-run double for Dylan Moore.
No, a 2-out, 2-run triple.
A triple for Dylan Moore.
Woo! And he got it too. He got the exact same hanger, and dude, that was clutch. He hung it. It was a sinker that was supposed to get down further into the zone, and it caught a good portion of the plate. And Dylan got that bat head out in front and put a charge into that bitch, and he was running the entire time. Good for Dylan. A 2-out. That was clutch, by the way. That was clutch. This is 2 outs. We don't hit shit with 2 outs.
And 2 strikes.
Shit. So, yeah, that was huge, man. That was absolutely what the Mariners needed. And I mind you, in the first inning, we had a runner at second base. We were threatening in the first. And it's, and by the way, man, kudos to Luke Raley for hustling down that first base line to keep this inning extended.
Yeah, to make it 2-0 rather than 1-0. And now here is JP Crawford. And JP, don't have to hit a home run. Just poke something.
And
just do any.
This is what you and I were talking about pregame. Being aggressive early, giving Brian Wu a little bit of an early cushion to work with. I love how the Mariners responded so far early in this game. This is the keys to the game. Early
Maybe
pressure.
they saw our show this morning. Maybe that's what they woke up to.
Maybe.
And we're looking at the 0-1 for JP Crawford. That is up high
JP.
for a ball.
Come on, JP. Turn on one and put one in the gap.
Make something happen. This could be your turning point of the season if you do so.
God, you look like a dick with those sunglasses on.
The 1-1. And that's going to be a ball, 2-1. Remember Mike Cameron with those sunglasses that really did reflect?
Yeah.
But he had the credibility to wear those.
Yeah, well, Mike Cameron was a stud.
Second best center fielder of all time. The 2-1.
Yeah.
And that is a 3-1 count, and JP has the advantage.
And now you got 3-1, and you got a full green light. You're going to get something to hit here. And
he's going to have to because he's 0 for 9 in this series.
And let's see if he can turn on one. Oh, he did. Fastball
here's
in.
A 3-1. And now here's a fly ball foul, but it looked really good on that angle.
He gets fastball in, and, credit to him for getting that bat hit out in front. It was just a little too early.
Victor Robles will be the next batter if Crawford can prolong this inning.
By the way, he's batting $130 against the Astros this year.
Yuck. 3-2 and a foul ball. He really should have struck out on that one. And if anything, he should have walked.
This is he's such a huge confidence booster for this offense to get 2 runs against Blanco this early. Now it's time for them to put their foot on the gas. Ooh, got him.
And the 3-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's going to retire the side. But the good news is the Mariners got 2 runs out of it, out of a 2-run RBI triple by Dylan Moore.
Yeah, that's tough though. You can't leave Dylan stranded at third right there. So you know what though? I agree with Chad Lewis. JP can't be the leadoff hitter anymore. I actually think it's time to drop him to 9th in the order, get him back to 9th where he had been prior to his leadoff days. And you know what? Maybe this might sound crazy, but if you're gonna play Josh Rojas as much as they are, let Josh lead off.
Let him lead off, because he actually did pretty well on the leadoff spot. And before I get to the JP Crawford numbers on where he should be positioned based on analytics, here is my possible poor sportsmanship of softball. And remember, runners cannot touch home if they try to score, or else you'll be automatically out.
Nice. Woo! All the way, boy, all the way. All the way, 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 all the way.
What do you mean you can't touch home plate? I don't understand.
You're not allowed to touch home plate if you're scoring. You have to go on the side of it because of safety issues. It's a church league.
Okay.
They are full of safety rules. But I was the one saying, no, touch home because I want a double play out of a home run hit.
Yeah, what's funny is, Jerry could have had a legit leadoff hitter had they had the sacked and traded for Luis Arias earlier this season when the Marlins were shopping him. That would have been nice. But I will say that, right now JP literally cannot at all be the leadoff guy. Do you know what also might actually be pretty decent? Because they have, I believe Jonathan Clase is on this 26-man roster right now.
I think so too. Yeah, maybe they should give him a shot.
Dude, I would give him some run in right field. And
absolutely,
because if you're not going to use what's his bucket Canzone, use Clase and let him be a leadoff hitter.
Looking at JP Crawford's numbers, when he's the 9th hitter, he's a 203 hitter, so maybe put him as number 8. Now here's the pitch, and that's a ball 1-1.
He was fine as the number 9 hitter back in the day.
He was
or could it be that JP just had a career year last year, and we're just overrating JP Crawford?
I thought he was overrated the entire time. The only reason why he got so much love was because that insane backhanded play he did in 2019. That's what got his name.
Right. That's the thing, is he won a Gold Glove, great, but he's, I don't know. I think he's got 2 years left on his current deal.
Yeah, and by then you would think that Cole Young's going to take over by then if he's still on this team, the 2-1, and that is a foul ball. And I'm saying it, JP Crawford is easily expendable. I said he was expendable when he was actually, quote, average.
I will say this, that when they extended him on that 4-year deal that I think only paid him like $4 million a season, $10 million a season, that was actually a bargain when they got him.
And a swing and a miss, strike 3, and down he goes, and that's going to be 1 out. Yeah, JP Crawford will be a free agent by 2026, so Mariners are still going to have to eat that.
Well, I'm just saying, it's like, for the time, it was a good extension because it gave stability at the shortstop. But I'll say this, for a team that wants to win a World Series, you always have to look to upgrade certain positions. And if JP is not hitting, then what's his value? Because there's a far better defensive shortstops out there that can't hit.
And Mariners have a platter of shortstop prospects on its way, and one of them could be on his way real soon, by early as next year. Probably next year's gonna be most likely. The 0-1, and that's gonna be a foul ball by Dubon.
It's gonna be interesting to see how quick Colt Emerson gets rushed through the minor league level.
I hope they don't.
Yeah,
but it sounds like maybe he's good enough to be rushed. Like Cole Young, they really took their time with him.
Sure. From what everybody says, is that Colt Emerson is the guy, is legit, and we'll see if they rush him through. Although, if you're in a situation where you do have JP Crawford locked in for another 2 years, you don't have to. But that being said, if JP continues to struggle into next year, man.
Yeah,
Chad.
Swing and a miss, strike 3, another strikeout by Brian Wu.
Yeah, Chad Lewis says his OPS plus last year was 132. His second highest 102. He is a league average hitter or worse. Yeah, I would agree.
I wonder what his testing is at.
I wonder, Chad Lewis, if you could give me his WRC plus for the last 3 years. This year, last year, and the year before. 2022 all the way on. I'm curious.
It looks like time has been called. Cal Raleigh wants to have a little bit of a chat with him. 2024. I'm looking at Celine Celestine's numbers. He's batting .342 with a .423 OBP. I think they should call him up to Modesto, and then the Mariners should call up Colt Emerson into Everett and play with Las Montez.
Yeah, JP Crawford WRC plus in 2021 was 103. It was the same in 2022. Last year was 134. This year it's 90. So he's basically trending to what his average was from 2018 through 2020. So yeah, okay.
Looks like there's some conversations going on. I wonder if both managers are getting involved. There was a little bit of a verbal scuffle going on.
Oh, I wonder if he's going to pull Brian Wu.
I think it could be injury problem, but it.
No, it's being funny. They're saving him for August and September.
And that's the truth.
Yeah, the funny thing is that that was so funny. We're playing for August and September, which is why we can't start Logan Gilbert today. We're playing for August and September.
I think the Mariners would have had a much better. I think they would win one of those games if. Hell, they could have with Logan Gilbert. Maybe you win that first game, bring that confidence going into the next game, and not screw it up.
All I know is they
got a 3 or a sweep.
they had an opportunity to win yesterday's game. George Kirby pitched. I thought he pitched well enough to win. Offense only provided him 2 runs, and the bullpen gave it up.
Bullpen 97 did.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. He's like, how about getting the playoffs first? And that's what you and I were talking about this morning. It's like, if you're going to have that attitude, at least have the track record to have that attitude. And not
he acts like that every single year when the Mariners are playing in the cutting it close kind of situation.
I know a lot of Mariner fans out there would like to see this team fail just because that would mean the end of Scott Service and the end of Jerry DiPoto, but that's such a loser mentality to take, though. You should be playing to win every single year.
Still want them, yeah, because the core, the talent is there to let alone make the playoffs. And now here's the 1-2, and that's going to be outside for a ball, 2-2. And I don't like the camera angle that they're using exactly.
It's almost like the U.S. men's national team, and had they not lost to Panama in the Copa America and got to like a quarterfinal, they would have kept Greg Berhalter, and then they probably would have had a bad World Cup. But thank God for Timothy Weah, because they ended up firing him. And it's like, I can understand both sides of the coin. I don't like Scott Service, and I have never liked Scott Service.
Never. People were pointing out his pitching decisions mentality since pretty much day one. And now here's a 3-2 pitch and a swing and a miss, strike 3. That's 3 strikeouts in this inning for Brian Wu. He is absolutely on fire in this game. We go to bottom of the 3rd and 2-0 Mariners.
Oh yeah, my feed is now a little bit behind, but here's the 3-2 on the way. Swing and a miss.
Let's see if I have another highlight of myself. Here it is. Yeah.
Oh, stay. Let's go.
And that was the play. Oh, what do we got in the comments? Win or lose, Service needs to go at minimum. Yeah, that's the thing. That is the one bad thing. If Mariners make the playoffs, they will keep Service and they will give him another 3-year extension. But at the same time, we still want the Mariners to win anyway, because we're tired of it. We're tired of the losing.
I just don't. That's the thing. It's like, by the way, coughing up a 10-game lead in any stretch, the way that this happened, the way it went down, is 100% on the 100% on the manager. Yes, the players deserve a lot of criticism, but that being said, it's like, you're the manager.
Yeah, hold them accountable. And we have Mariner fans out there that are like, well, that's the player's job. The manager's just setting lineups. It's like, no, manager has to set accountability, got to put them in their place.
Yeah. And by the way, and that's the thing. It's like, your manager is the one that sits out in front. He's the one that takes the praise when they win and eats the shit when they lose. And it's like, but that being said, this is a results-driven business. Okay. All professional sports are result-driven business. And if the results aren't there, then your manager is the one that is being held accountable.
Now here's a fly ball to center field, and that's going to be caught, and that went all the way to the warning track. Nice hit by Victor Robles, but it just wasn't enough.
Yep. And just like your general manager is also accountable, especially considering he's the one that put this team together. And this was supposed to be a high contact, low strikeout type of.
And they're even worse. And this is without Daniel Suarez and Teoscar Hernandez, and that was bad.
Yeah, what's funny is, like, Chad, the thing is, everybody's comfortable.
And here's another fly ball to center field, and it's going to be another catch in just 2 pitches. We already got 2 outs, but the Mariners are they're trying to just go aggressive at this point.
Yeah, as they should, because they're getting fastballs. But yeah, that's my biggest problem, is all these players are comfortable under Scott Service. They come to the park every single day knowing they're going to be in the lineup. Strike out or not, hit or not, they're going to be in that lineup. But there's no accountability, 100%.
I've been saying it for a long time. And now here's the pitch to Cal Raleigh, and that is a strike. Didn't really like the pitch that he had. That was almost a fringe ball.
Yep. In the words of the Hughes Corporation, I'd like to know where you got the notion. Sometimes you got to rock the boat. Don't rock the boat, baby, rock the boat.
211 with 20 home runs and 61 RBIs. And now here is the pitch. And that is a foul ball again. 0-2.
Again, you know, he gets a hanger right out of the. Oh, geez. Like, dude, he got a hanger right over the middle of the plate.
That should have been tanked.
Yeah, bat out in front, and he fouls it just a little early on it. And that's
0-2.
You know,
and now here's a ground ball right to Altuve. Throw to first in time. And
Cal
Raleigh's
lost at the plate right now.
He is absolutely lost. And no, I don't want to hear the excuse of, well, we're just playing Houston. They're a good team. Mariners, they couldn't even play good against a bad team.
Yeah, you know, it's like that pitch right there highlights what's wrong right now with a lot of players.
It's like, you know, you're like, you know, Blanco is giving these guys ample pitches to hit and to crush. And it's like, you know, a mediocre offense, you know, we're up 4-0 right now, 4-5-0 right now. And, you know, that's the sad state of affairs right now, where you get a hanger right over the heart of the plate, and, you know, old Cal Raleigh dumps that into the right field seats. This Cal Raleigh swings it foul and then grounds out to second base.
Maybe 2023 Cal Raleigh. There's a lot of 2023 things that would be doing better than this team. Really sad. And we said that was also not exactly a great team either.
And I noticed that Ty France wasn't in the lineup today. That's good.
I'm okay with that.
If the only thing that happens is that Ty France gets DFA'd and Ty Locklear gets called up, I think it's just like the small things that can change. And I think, you know, I think Locklear is a vast improvement at this point, and I'd like to see it happen before the deadline. At least give him a 2-week run into the deadline.
Just anything, because I don't like that they just sent him down when Mariners were hot, because that was all that maybe parallel that Mariners sent down Locklear. As soon as they sent him down, Mariners go on this terrible streak. And that was only because Ty France was out, so they had to bring him back because he's Ty France, but it's just not working. And there is flexibility to get rid of him.
100%. And, you know, he was only making $4 million this year, and so now we're in that $1.5 million, $2 million left on the season. This is what happened last year with Colton Wong. They kept him until the deadline before they DFA'd him. So we're getting pretty close, and I wouldn't be surprised if, come the deadline, we'll see Tyler Locklear the rest of the year at first base.
Hopefully so.
Because I would rather use Raley in the outfield, if I'm being perfectly honest.
No, we have to. The pitch to Bregman. And a swing and a miss, strike 2. And Brian Wu really does seem to be on top of his game. Bregman's batting 257, 12 home runs.
I'll tell you what, he challenged Bregman right there. That was a fastball middle in. And Bregman doesn't necessarily miss those pitches. That's why you got to love Brian Wu. His fastball literally is an 80-grade fastball. That thing is phenomenal.
We're looking at the 0-2 pitch, and that's going to be a foul ball.
Oh, yeah. Chad Lewis is right again. He said every Astros hitter looks completely focused and dialed in up at the plate. Just a completely different feel from our hitters. 150%.
Our players don't have focus.
Our players are just lollygag. Our players are just lollygagging around the infield.
And here's a fly ball right to Julio Rodriguez. Like, anyone can say what they...
Go ahead.
Anyone can say what they want about Kelnick, but at least he was serious. Yes, he stunk, but at least he was serious and he really cared.
They lollygag around the outfield. They lollygag in the infield. They lollygag at the home plate. What does that make them? Lollygaggers.
Astros are about to be in playoff mode. They were in playoff mode the entire season.
Yeah, I mean, they're in playoff mode right now.
And here's Yordan Alvarez, my top 5 favorite player, because I made a video about him and it blew up to 24,000 views.
I'm telling you, man, that he's the poor man's Laz Montez, man.
He's the man that built my channel. Oh shoot, the Blue Jays won. And the 1-0. There were Mariner fans out there that wanted the Blue Jays to get swept or at least lose the series because maybe that will trigger them to be sellers at the deadline.
Oh yeah, well, whatever, man. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
And do you know why that is, Chad Lewis? It's because they have good coaching. Guys that good preparation for at bats. And it's a far cry from what we're trying to do, which is trying to swing for the fucking goddamn fences every single time we come up to hit.
2-0 pitch. Oh, here's a fly ball drilled to right field. Forget about that one. That nearly hit the third deck. And Jordan Alvarez just completely blasted the crap out of that one.
That ball was crushed. Oh, by the way, fastball low in the zone. And, you gave him you started him off fastball up and away, and then you give him fastball in the zone, and it's like, dude, Jordan does not miss those pitches. And by the way, that was off the facade of the third deck. Holy ish.
That might be a top 5 record in T-Mobile history of how far that really was.
I want to look at this. It's knee-high fastball right down the middle of the plate.
He's tanking those every time.
He got it all, too. And where did this hit? Oh, yeah, right off the facade of the third deck.
Oh my gosh. The moment I saw it, I was like, yep, that baby's gone. Now here's the pitch, and that is a ball.
Yeah, no, Chad Lewis, man, by the way, Chad Lewis is on fire today in the chat room, and he's like, yeah, it's nice having a dude that's almost guaranteed to do damage. It's like, yeah, who is that in our lineup?
No
Why
one.
do you think I was advocating so hard for the Mariners to go out and get Juan Soto this offseason? By trading some of those prospects and just having that dude that's guaranteed to bat 3 who's going to hit 30 home runs a year. That dude that everybody's afraid of.
He's bad coaching proof too.
Yeah, Jesus.
Because he just does it himself. He just takes care of himself. Man. The 1-1. And that's a 1-2 count. I think if Scott Service tried to do the analytics thing on him, he'd be like, bro, get out of here. Let me do my job, man.
Yeah, he's the type of dude who's like, you just worry about you and let me worry about me. And
yeah,
see where it falls.
Especially if it's a Scott Boras client, you would think that he has that kind of personality. The 1-2 pitch, and that is outside for a ball for Diaz.
Scott Boras was never going to allow Soto to come to Seattle, even for a year. That was not going to. That was not going into his walk year. That was never going to happen anyway.
Mm-mm. And now we're looking at the 2-2 for Yainer Diaz.
Yainer.
And now here's the pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to Polanco, the throw to first, and that is in time. Easy play for Polanco.
Wow, man, that ball was absolutely crushed. It's a good thing we are spending 30 plus over each of these next 2 seasons for the trio of Haniger, Garver, Polanco instead of having a dude like Soto. Yeah, I know.
And now here's Singleton, who is up to the plate. And yeah, Chad Lewis, let it all out, man. Get it all out of your systems. Because I'm the guy that allows venting on anything.
What's funny is the only time that Jerry DiPoto got it right, as far as like bringing in that veteran dude.
Now here's a fly ball to left field, and it caught in the sun. Oh, and Dylan Moore makes the catch. And that's going to retire the side. But the Astros score a run with that huge Jordan Alvarez tank of a home run. I think that's the farthest home run I ever see with my eyes on a TV in T-Mobile history. Because I never saw the Mo Vaughn 99, and I never saw what else I never see. I didn't see Vogelbach in real life, and that was a foul ball. I want to say it. Yeah. That was a foul ball.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember when Barry Bonds came to Safeco Field. He uncorked one too.
No, yeah, it didn't go to the. Oh well, that was the home run derby, though.
No. It was during the run of play, and now it wasn't a bomb into the upper deck, but still, though, it was pretty impressive. Barry Bonds was. It
was either 06 or it could have been 06 or
it was 02. It was 02.
It was 01. I saw the 2001 bomb, and I remember when Barry Bonds hit that home run. Mariner fans were actually cheering because everyone was cheering for him to beat the McGuire record.
What's funny, though, is like the last time that Jerry DiProto brought in that veteran dude that still had something left in the tank that actually benefited this offense was Carlos Santana. And that dude was a gamer. The problem with guys like Haniger, Garver, and Polanco, especially Haniger and Garver, is that they're 33 years old with an injury history. And then Polanco also has an injury history as well, too. A dude like Carlos Santana, who's just basically like an Everlast battery, you know what I mean? Like that was like the last time that he brought in somebody that could have that type of impact. That was more of a veteran guy, but Garver, Haniger, and Polanco are shot fighters, man.
It really was crushing to see. It was really crushing to see them go. I mean,
and imagine if Dipoto extended Carlos Santana for a couple more years, like on a
really should have.
And he was here last year, playing the DH spot. That would have made all the difference in the world.
And now we're thinking that maybe Mike Ford on this team could be help, which is sad to say. You didn't like him, did you?
No, I do. Mike Ford was garbage. But he says, I get that Soto wouldn't have signed here long term, but imagine how fun it would, to write Soto in the line. Yeah, absolutely. And having Julio hit in front of him at 2, you know what I mean? Like that would have given Julio an extra Pepe step too. Yeah, and for even if it's just for a year, it changes the trajectory of this franchise.
And that is low for a ball.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, they keep bringing guys that come from ultra hitting ballparks in lineups that were absolutely stacked.
2-1.
So, yeah.
And now here's a fly ball to deep right field, and that is gone. That's a home run for Jorge Polanco. What a blast that was, and what a way to make up for that Yordan Alvarez home run. What a
nice
shot
response.
by Jorge.
Nice response and a nice piece of hitting on a pitch that was, again, like pretty much right down, like a mistake. It's something that this team does not do often, take care of mistakes. But look at Polanco there. All of a sudden now Polanco, second half Polanco.
Maybe that's what that could happen. And I did make that post and I pinned it by going, anyone who screws up, boo. And now I'm starting to really think that they saw our show and it's like, let's shut these two little
it's
losers up.
it's a 2-seamer that's running to the outer half of the plate, but he catches all of that plate. And unfortunately, for him, Polanco just made him pay. But that's you see Julio in the dugout saying the exact same thing. But that's the thing. It's like last year with Teoscar Hernandez coming from Toronto to Seattle was never going to work. I had my trepidations about Garver as well too, and proved to be right.
Now here's the pitch to Rojas, and now here's a ground ball right to Singleton.
Boom! Ooh, nice
first,
play.
And that is in time.
Nice play though by Singleton at first, because that looked like that was going to be a rocket down the first base line. Credit for him though.
And now we've got 100%. Dylan Moore. No, Mitch Haniger is up to the plate, the fossil, and
Haniger.
He's not 2010 Ken Griffey Jr. bad, but he's bad.
He's bad.
The pitch,
but he got to walk his first time up, so
that could be the only way he could actually be effective on this team. Unfortunately,
Chad. Here's the thing:
right down the middle, and he just whipped it.
Fastball right down the heart of the plate.
Thanks that.
Fly ball, fastball right down the heart of the plate, and he swings right through it.
And he swings and miss again.
That's sad. We're witnessing the end of Mitch Haniger, and it's sad to see because Mitch has been the heartbeat of this clubhouse for quite a long time, and it sucks. It sucks to see the end of somebody's career, man.
It
really does. But
the 1-2, and that is low for a ball. And I mean,
no matter
how this season ends, I mean, Mitch Haniger's still going to get the love. And when it's all said and done, do the Mariners dare to give him a Mariner Hall of Fame? The pitch and an awful swing and a miss, strike 3, and that is going to be 2 down.
Mitch had about 3 good seasons in his Mariner tenure, but no, I don't think you can give him
it's not enough. I looked.
If they haven't. Yeah, if they still haven't given Kyle Seager his flowers for Mariner Hall of Fame, they're certainly not going to do it for Mitch.
And Seager deserves every bit of it, and that is a swing and a miss. It's because of whatever he said to the organization caused Kevin Mather to say what he said, and because he responded even further, the 0-1 pitch, and just look at that swing and a miss by Luke Raley. It's just awful.
Good pitches though. Yeah, but the thing about it is, man, the way they did Kyle by forcing him out the door and telling him by email, not even having the balls to give him a phone call.
That's face, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty terrible. Yeah, I will say that it's going to be a risk not upgrading second base position in the trading deadline if you're banking on Polanco in the second half. Okay, but the reality is there's a lot of holes on this team, and you're going to need both corner outfield spots potentially upgraded. If you can get Isak Paredes for third base, you can do that. But if they're not gonna be aggressive and bring in a guy like Vladdy, then what I would end up doing is giving Tyler Locklear the first base job for the rest of the year. But definitely both corner outfield spots. I would think maybe Jazz Chisholm and Michael Conforto. And then that way you can plug and play versus lefties. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's like it's like, yes, do I want the Mariners to go big game hunting at the deadline? Of course, man. Like if you can swing a Vladdy Jr., hell yes. But the reality is you want players that are going to come in that raise the ground floor. And a guy like Michael Conforto versus righties does exactly that. A guy like Jazz Chisholm does exactly that. Now, they can't hit versus lefties, but still, though, I mean, they do help you. Another guy is Andy Ibanez from the Tigers. That dude hits lefties, and he can play multiple infield positions. So there's a lot of guys out there that can help you.
And you want them to make a move because that way you make a move so you can prevent division rivals to do, because the Mariners watched the Astros trade for Justin Verlander. Not that the Mariners would have got him, but I think they could have at least made some kind of a run for Kendall Graveman.
Yeah, I just think last year, after what ended up happening last year and what Cal Raleigh said, it's a situation where they can't do nothing. If they do nothing, they might as well resign because they're going to get fired in the offseason.
And that's the thing. I am certainly not looking forward to that time where I have to talk about Mariners GM search. And now here's the pitch from Wu, and that is a strike. He is at 50 pitches now, so Ryan doesn't really have much wiggle room.
But that's the thing. It's like I think I'm at the point now where I want to see a new GM build around this young core and actually build it right around this young core and get to the playoffs for the next 3 years before they ultimately leave town.
Oh yeah, because I'm saying Kirby and Raleigh, they're not going to last. Yeah, you would think that Kirby's fed up with this team, probably.
I would think that of the three, Logan Gilbert is the one that resigns long term. But yeah, I think that both Cal Raleigh and George Kirby are the guys that are eventually going to move on.
And another swing and a miss, strike three, and Brian Wu is just on fire.
3 years. Like beginning this offseason, you have 3 years with the rest of this core before they become free agents. And so now you have 3 years to at least try to achieve a deep playoff run. And I have zero faith with Jerry Dipoto that they're going to maximize this window. So if they happen to not make the playoffs, that might be a good thing for this team. And I'm with you, Chad Lewis.
Next pitch, and that is a strike.
Yep, Jazz Chisholm, Luis Robert Jr. would be a fantastic deadline.
Yeah, and the bullpen can salvage itself, and the starters can salvage itself, because that can give them some less pressure, and they'll be in less high leverage situations. The pitch, and that's going to be a foul ball, and Jake Myers is down to an 0-2 count.
Yeah, that's
the thing. If we get any of these guys, they don't have to be. He's right. It doesn't have to be. It will just help everyone else.
What you need are guys who are going to realize that the team is going to win regardless of what they do, right? So it's like having guys coming in, believing into the group, believing that the core is going to be able to win, and being able to do the small things that's going to help this team win a ball game. They don't need Jazz Chisholm to be a superstar. They just need.
And now here is a pop up to first base, and makes the catch, and we got 2 down. I saw a comment on Facebook saying that if the Mariners have an average offense, they're a World Series contender. And I said this: if the Mariners have a slightly below average offense, they're a World Series contender. No?
No, because you still once you like now with a marginal offense that's good enough to get to the playoffs, but once you get to the playoffs and now you're going up against elite pitching staffs, you have to have some modicum of a decent offense to score runs. We saw what a mediocre offense did to this team in the playoffs against the Astros.
And they wasn't good enough. Smoked.
Are you serious? You're going to go 18 innings and you can't even plate one run?
Yeah, Carlos. Sorry. The only extra base they got was Carlos Santana going to second base, and they did nothing with it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so you have to have some offense in the playoffs. But that being said, the pitching is good enough to get there, though.
Yeah, pitching could. I mean, a lot of teams would kill for the Mariners pitching staff easily. I mean, you don't think the Dodgers would, right? The Dodgers would do anything for that kind of pitching staff.
If the M's had the A's offense, they'd be up there with the Guardians. Yeah, probably. I like
that's
the A's
pretty
offense.
sad. Like Abraham
offense,
Toro, Brent Rooker. Maybe if the Mariners somehow find a way to trade for Brent Rooker, maybe I'll take that at this point. And I don't really like him that much, but at this point,
Chad Lewis is right, and I said this morning that I have no doubt that this team is playing hard. But when you go out there and you bring in a big name to that clubhouse at the deadline, it gives this team juice, but it also lets the players know that the front office actually wants to win as well too, and that energizes the entire group. Like there is something to be said about bringing in legitimate names at the deadline. It just recharges the entire team.
2-2 pitch, and that is another foul ball. We're looking at still a 2-2, and now
Chad Lewis is on fire today, man.
Chad Lewis is being a total Chad, which is good. Every man today, out there should strive to be a Chad.
Well, yes and no, but I'll just say this Chad Lewis is on fire today. I appreciate it. Thank you, Chad.
And we're looking at a 2-2 for Trey Cabbage.
Same with Riley.
And now here's the pitch. And that is low for a ball, 3-2. And the pitch count just keeps going up. And you don't want to see pitch counts going up that fast, because that means Scott Service is going to say your time is up, and then the bullpen's going to, because a 3-1 lead is not going to be enough for this bullpen. It's just not against this offense.
Well, but it all depends on, by the way, who's going to be available today in the bullpen, right? So,
and strike three called, another strikeout for Brian Wu. He is absolutely on fire. He's at the top of his game.
Well, I think he's at 61 pitches right now.
62 with 5 strikeouts.
Yeah, so I would like to think that he's going to get the 6th, and depending on where he's at after 6, if he's in the 75 pitch range,
let him pitch one more inning.
You might see 7, but I actually think that's going to be 6, and that's going to be it. It all depends on if how
the Mariners offense does, because if the Mariners have a good marginal lead, then they'll
depends
pull
on
Brian Wu.
It all depends on Scott Service and how he uses his bullpen today, because they got a 2-run lead, and you would like to see the Mariners played a couple more runs before handing it off to the bullpen. But if it's still a 3-1 lead after 6, it all depends on who they bring out. What's his ass? Trent Thornton pitched yesterday, an inning, a third, so he's probably not going to be available. Stanek is not going to be available, so that leaves.
So we need Santos and Munoz.
Austin Voth, Santos, and Munoz.
I would like to see Santos.
I like Austin Voth. I think he's been, or Snyder.
Shauna loves Austin Voth to the death.
Yeah, but Shauna likes it. Shauna loves everyone, man. Like I haven't seen anybody that she's like, no, I don't like him. She likes everyone. You know who she really loves though? Cade Marlowe.
Cade Marlowe.
Yeah.
I do think he should at least get a week worth of play though.
I think that if Cade Marlowe showed any interest in Shauna, she would just melt. She would be like, oh my God. Oh, Cade. All right, maybe that was maybe that was a little too far. My bad.
Maybe. And we got they're showing the legendary Dan Wilson.
I have never seen anybody. I have never seen a lady's eggs drop as much as she does when she talks about Cade Marlowe. It's like, oh boy, she's got it.
And it's not just a Mariners prospect. It's a Mariners prospect that barely anyone knows.
Yeah,
like an average fan would not know.
Dude, it's like an Usher song with her.
I'm here crushing on people like Montez and Celestine, but she's crushing on
Cade Marlowe. Yeah. But by the way, when Home Dude got traded to the White Sox this spring,
she lost it.
dude, what's his name?
Deloach.
Yeah, Zach Deloach, dude. She like was acting like a family member died, and I was like, that's funny. Haha, yeah, she's infatuated with Kay. Yeah, that's a nice way of saying she likes Kay. Infatuated, like it's like, it's like damn near,
And Deloach, when he was called up in 9 games, 136 with a 240 OBP. So it's not like the Mariners missed much.
What was that movie back in the late 80s, 90s with Michael? Oh, Fatal Attraction. Yeah, there it is. She's got like a Fatal Attraction thing with Kate Marlowe.
And we're looking at a 2-1 for Dylan Moore. And now here's the pitch. And a swing and a miss. Strike 2.
Yep. Fastball up. Couldn't catch it. What was it? Yeah. I would like to see the Mariners within the next 2 innings plate 2 and get this to 5. Yeah, yeah, but I don't think by the way, Chad, it's funny. Like, I don't think anybody doubts Beltre's candidacy for the Hall of Fame. I think I'm right with you. It feels like, he was just manning the hot corner in Seattle, but the one that really kind of gets me is Joe Mauer. The fact that Thurman Munson's still not in the Hall of Fame and Joe Mauer
is.
And Munson had far better numbers. Ooh.
That's another pop-up for Dylan Moore, and that is he's still fighting the 2-2 count. The only positive thing out of this is he's fighting.
Yeah, he's fighting.
And now here's the 2-2, and that's a foul ball.
Yeah, I'll say this, man. Adrian Beltre was the best third baseman in club history. I think that even if he was only here for 5 years, I don't think there was a third baseman that was
more consistent that he was. The 2-2, because Kyle Seager did have his problems.
What's funny is we're talking about defense and then also his offensive abilities, and it's like even though Kyle had the longevity, it's like I don't think anybody would take Kyle over Beltre.
Except I did. Because of the longevity. And that's a crazy thing. Like, Beltre's worst years in Seattle was still productive. That's the crazy part of it.
Let's see. I know there's been a lot of talk
pitch.
about it. Well,
and a swing and a miss, strike 3, and down goes Dylan Moore.
That was a good pitch. Let's see. Well, the problem with guys like Samad Taylor and Cade Marlowe is just there's not a lot of trade value in those guys because they're essentially quad A guys, right? I mean, they're the in case of emergency break glass guy kind of guy. And there you go. And that's the thing. It's like when you're talking prospects, it's guys like Harry Ford, Cole Young, Laz Montez. Value. Yeah, those guys have crazy value. But that's the question. It's like, are they going to do the uncomfortable thing, do the thing that makes them uncomfortable and trade some of those guys to bring in legit talent? Because the Mariners.
And my question is, do these Mariner fans that want to hoard these prospects, do they even go to the games? That's my question.
No, they do not. And the crazy thing, it's like the reality is the Mariners can trade their top 6 prospects and still be perfectly fine. That's the reality.
Yep. It's not 97 guys. It's not going to be like the Derek Lovera-Tech trade. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be much different than that. The 0-2 pitch, and that is up high for a ball.
Yeah, Samad Taylor and Cade Marlowe, that's the thing. It's like if Samad Taylor had brought any value, he would have already been on the 26-man roster, you'd think. Same thing with Cade Marlowe.
And that is up high for a ball, 2-2.
Not to mention the fact, I don't think Samad Taylor or Cade Marlowe are having the best years in Tacoma right now in a league that is all offense. I don't think they've had the greatest seasons.
I haven't heard much out of it. If I heard much about Cade Marlowe, my phone would have blown up about it. The 2-2. And strike 3 called, and down goes J.P. Crawford. He's just looking absolutely lost. And he's like complaining to the umpires, like, "Hey, man, that was not a good call." He's like, "No, you just suck. That was your pitch."
Fastball right at the bottom of the zone. And
I'm honestly getting tired of him just arguing with the umpire. Like the Cleveland one, fine. But then after that, it's like, dude, you got to swing at those.
Yeah. It's like, take the umpire out of it. And oh, by the way, here's the reality, right? And this is something that A-Rod was talking about on the radio. It's like with 2 strikes, the idea is to choke up on the bat and put put bat to ball. And if and that's what you do with 2 strikes. It's what I learned when I was a kid playing baseball. With 2 strikes, you shorten your choke up of the bat and shorten up your swing and put bat to ball. You don't.
I don't even think they even do that.
You don't sit there. You don't sit and just take pitches that are in the zone. Not with 2 strikes, you don't.
No, A-Rod really did have valid things to say, and I think it's easy to say that it was heavily underrated when he was saying it. Like, he was like actually giving really good advice and points. He was talking up Edgar, the fans, and Lou Pennell, the 2-1.
Dude, I love
and yet
A-Rod.
Mariner fans are still spitting it in his face.
I love A-Rod, man. He's such a beauty.
I saw a really dark video when Felix Hernandez hit A-Rod in the hand, and it was actually a pretty bad one, and I was at the game. The 3-1 pitch to Robles, that was his pitch right there.
Fastball again, right down the middle of the plate.
It's almost like Blanco's trying to help him.
By the way, 3-1, and you get a fastball down the pipe, and you watch it. You watch
3-2. Now here's a ground ball, and that's gonna be bobbled by Pena, and that's gonna be a single infield single for Robles. Maybe that could be an error, but who knows?
Yeah, but you know what though? Here's the thing, though, right? Would you be okay if they traded for Brent Rooker to be your everyday DH?
Oh, hell yeah. Defense is still not that bad on the outfield, even with crappy hitters.
You can bring him, by the way, and you can still play him in right field. You know, Brent Rooker, you can, like, as bad as it is defensively, his offense is so upper level where you can sacrifice a little defense, but if you bring him in, he should be your everyday DH. You should basically tell Mitch Garver, it's like, dude, you're playing against lefties, but Rooker's playing the majority of the week.
Now here's Julio Rodriguez has a chance to extend the inning. Now going back to A-Rod, so after Felix hit him, I saw the video. I heard a fan screaming, "Hit him again," like 10 times in a row, and then some other fan was screaming, "Break your elbow." I think that was the Mariners fans' lowest point.
You know what's fun? Oh, Jesus, Julio.
That was a bad swing.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you, Chad, but it is what it is. The Mariners need to improve offensively, and a dude like Rooker, he brings it. But, you know, that's the thing. It's like you would think that if they brought him in.
Another swing and a miss. Strike 2 by Julio Rodriguez.
Christ. And he's just swinging at shit.
He's swinging at garbage pitches.
You would think that if they brought in Rooker, he would probably man an outfield position.
Luke Raley left field, Rooker at right field.
Yeah.
Julio at center field. I can live with that.
Yeah, and then you're dealing with and you have Ty Locklear playing first base.
And your right field doesn't have to be the best guy on defense. He doesn't have to be. The 0-2. Right. And that is up high for a ball throw to second base. And he is safe.
Safe.
I really thought he was out. Altuve had that tag, and that was a good throw.
Yeah, that was that ball was up and away when he was throwing down to second base. That throw wasn't. He got a late break on it too, and that throw was just a little up. Here it is.
Oh, he missed the tag.
Yeah,
and now here's Julio Rodriguez still with a 1-2. He's probably going to strike out. I guarantee it. The 1-2 up high for a ball. And A-Rod as manager, he is not going to have time for that. He runs. He's trying to be a freaking owner of the Timberwolves. I think he is.
I think A-Rod. I think he was being sarcastic. A-Rod for manager. I don't think he was being serious. But I'll say this.
And he doesn't have the time.
I don't think he wants to. I don't even think he wants to. But what I will say though is that I'll say this, because A-Rod is tight with John Stanton and he's tight with Jerry DiPoto. I wouldn't be surprised within the next 2 years we have an A-Rod night where he comes back wearing his number 3, throws out the first pitch, and I would like to think that we're finally going to get to the point where we can bury the hatchet with A-Rod, because everybody else has come back except for A-Rod.
Randy Johnson even came back after even he left with bad terms, but that was really Chuck Armstrong's fault.
Right, but still, though, I just think that it's going to happen within the next 2 years, and I think that you might have some salty Mariner fans, but those fans that are salty at him never actually watched A-Rod play in Seattle. They remember him as a Yankee, but they don't remember him as a Mariner.
As a Mariner. But here's the pitch. But even then, Mariner fans that did watch and enjoy A-Rod, they still turned their backs on him.
Ooh, that was
including me. I turned my backs on A-Rod until I actually started reading books about like the business and the politics, and then I forgave.
I never turned my back on A-Rod. He was the best draft pick we ever had.
3-2. Oh my God! What kind of swing was that? A 3-2.
Yeah. Oh God.
See, this is the kind of thing where you have Scott Service having to say, "Hey, you got to cut that out." But you don't have.
Oh, that was terrible. But I'll say this though, right? So A-Rod, and no disrespect to Ken Griffey Jr., he's my boyhood hero, and I love Jr., but A-Rod was the best athlete we've ever drafted. I'll say this: I think Mariner fans are mad at him because he left at the beginning of that window where we were really when he left, we were one game away from getting to a World Series, and
it was just bad timing.
And had he stayed the very next year with A-Rod in the lineup, we still get Ichiro and we still get Brett Boone. Imagine that offense with A-Rod. I don't think we went 116 with A-Rod, but I also think that we don't go down to the New York Yankees 4 games to 1.
But would they have beaten the Diamondbacks with prime Randy Johnson and Kurt Schilling?
Oh no.
But then
pretty good. But chances are pretty good we lose 4 games to 1 to the Diamondbacks. But the fact that we are American League champions, we actually get to a World Series, I think that sets the stage up for the next 2 years, 2002, 2003, where we get back. You know what I mean?
Oh, look at Chad Lewis. This is exactly why you're not afraid of trading away the Laz Montez, because of comments like this. And Chad Lewis brings a good point that he went to that game. Montez 0 for 5, 2 strikeouts, and an A+ level. That is absolutely unacceptable.
Yeah. Listen, he's got I think he's carrying like a strikeout, a K percentage of like 32% at high A. And it's like that right now, there's so much work to be done. There's so much work to be done for Laz. And it's like, there's no doubt, like when he gets a hold of one, that ball goes far, but right now he's feast or famine. And there's a lot of things that he's got to work on just to even get to the AA level. And I know that Baseball America loves him, but that
now it makes sense why Modesto took a lot of time to push him up, because you're like, hey, we got to make sure your strikeouts are going down.
Yeah, it's I think his patience, plate discipline and patience has to be worked on. It's like, dude, he's a long ways away. Like that's why it's like it's funny when fans be like, well, he's Yordan Alvarez. Yeah, maybe, but he also could be what's his ass, Evan White. You just never know. You never know. And are you willing to wait 4 years?
Pitch. No, I'm not.
Are you willing to wait 4 years until he gets the call, or do you want to see the Mariners win a World Series this year?
Let's win a World Series so we could possibly erase all that bad history. The 1-1 for Dubon, and now here is the pitch, and that is going to be fouled back, and that is going to be a 1-2 count.
The funny thing is, like the Northwest League, like the Pacific Coast League, is very high offensive oriented, right? It really is known for its offense. And, you have a dude like Laz Montez who you would think would be raking in Everett, and he's struggling, man.
He's the 1-2 pitch, and that is up high for a ball. And shout out to Chad for those points.
Don't get me wrong. Like, did he play his way out of Modesto? Yes and no. But would it have killed him to keep him in Modesto for the season?
It would have.
It would have literally
2-2. And that has popped up. And when he was in Modesto, the guy was still striking out at an alarming rate. In 65 games, he still struck out 59 times. Now it makes sense why Modesto kept holding him, but there must have been organizational pressure to move him up.
I'm sure.
Fan pressure, Dipoto pressuring him probably. But the manager was like, no, he's not ready. And I was one of those fools that were like, put him up in Everett so I can drive just an hour to watch him.
I'll see. Johnny Firmello tore his ACL, and he's out this year. But when Firmello comes back, my question to you is, who reaches the big? Like, if Firmello stays in the organization, who reaches the big leagues first, Firmello or Montez? I actually think it's Firmello.
I can see that because Montez's strikeout rate is just disturbing to watch. And now here's a 2-2. And now here's a ground ball, and that's going to get right through for a base hit. That's going to be a fair ball, and that is going to be the first extra base hit by the Astros. And Robles is still taking his time to field it. That could have been a triple if he wasn't careful. Yeah. And now I wonder if Scott Service is going to pull him out after this. I hope he doesn't.
No, I don't think so. But that was a good piece of hitting, by the way. That was terrible fielding in right field by Robles.
That was really bad fielding. Like you don't even see Haniger doing that.
Yeah, I mean, he lets the ball carry him off, and then he's got to go back and track it. Good thing that Dubon didn't take an extra base because I think
he should have, and he could have.
What's funny? It's going to be interesting to see. I would think that the guys that are close right now are like Ty Locklear, who already got a cup of coffee, is probably prone to make get his first full shot in the show. But I think after Locklear, I think the guy that's probably going to be the first is probably going to be Emerson, Cole Young or Cold Emerson, one of those two.
You think that they would really rush Cold Emerson?
I think as far as like need and who's going to be fast tracked and who is going to have that opportunity in case something happens. Yeah, maybe Cole. Yeah, maybe Cole Young.
I think what I like about Cole Young, he seems to have a better plate discipline than most prospects I've seen.
Yeah.
So 1-1. And a broken bat check swing and the throw to... Oh, no, there's no play at first base. And what was Cal Raleigh doing?
I don't know, man. That was odd. That was odd.
That was a half-ass play. I think that deserves some kind of booze.
Yeah, he's Chad Lewis, on the other hand, says Arroyo, on the other hand, looks pretty solid. Great mechanics. Bat speed is above average. Really balanced at the plate. Yeah, I would agree. I like Michael Arroyo.
I did not like that play. I think he just stumbled on that one.
No, what's funny is Woo's coming in to make a play, but he sees Raleigh, so he backs off, and then Raleigh, he just, I don't know what Raleigh was doing there. He picks it up and then does nothing with the ball.
It seemed that Brian Wu probably should have got that one, but that was a clear miscommunication.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And, luckily, and what's even worse is nobody was covering home plate. Thank God Dubon didn't go home because that was a run right there.
Now with Alex Bregman up, and now you have Taylor Saucedo in the bullpen. Yeah. I mean, again, where is Gregory Santos? Where is he?
Well, it's only the sixth inning anyway, but here's the thing, though. So now, double play depth, you'd be willing to take the double play, give up a run to take the double play. But, what really you need right here is a strikeout.
Strikeout big time. I would say a strikeout and then intentionally walk Yordan Alvarez because you don't want to give him anything.
Yeah, but then you're loading the bases, right? So
I'd still take that risk.
I would too.
There's risks that must be taken.
But here's the thing: is I wonder if Service is going to pitch to him though.
And now here's a ground ball, and that is nearly caught. The throw to first. Double play. And I don't think a runner scores either.
Interesting. Yeah, no, the runner stays at third because
because everything went too fast.
There's a double play ball. Well, that's huge. But now you have first base open. And so, and they're going to argue this now.
Why not call the challenge?
I guess he's saying that JP
dropped it on purpose or something. But what's wrong with that?
Yeah, I want to see the replay again.
I do too.
Yeah, because they're saying that what did JP catch the ball? Oh, he dropped it.
Yeah, he dropped it. So there's not really much of a thing to argue.
Yeah. JP drops it, and so he's got to field it.
So either way, it's a double play anyway.
Yeah, it's a double play anyway. Yeah, so JP dropped the ball. It came out of his glove. That's not an out. And because home dude was already off of first base, even the relay to first got back to first base in time anyway to double him off anyway. So even if it was an out, it's still a double play.
Not much to argue on that one.
Not much to argue. But now with lefty, I wonder.
No. Please don't do this, Scott. No.
They're going to bring Saucedo in to face Yordan.
One little problem. Wait, is it Dubon or is it Alvarez?
Alvarez, sorry. Yeah, they're bringing him to face Alvarez.
No, this is a horrible idea because how does Alvarez do against lefties? Robbie Ray will be the first to tell you that.
Yeah, but what did Yordan already do to Brian Wu already? He took him deep already.
No, just let him walk and let Brian Wu finish the inning.
That's a good question, Chad Lewis. At what point is Wu going to be able to, he's not.
Never.
That's the answer. The funny thing is even with our veterans, quote unquote, veteran starters, you don't really see them go through the lineup for a third time. That's kind of Scott Service's deal with starting pitchers. He'd rather hand the bullpen off at the sixth because unless a starter's on a heater, you're not going to see him go through the third time through the lineup. Every once in a while you'll see it, but a point. Usually after the second time through the lineup, they're not going to let a starter go. And because their advanced metrics tell you that, the averages start to go up a third time through the lineup. So the answer is you're never going to see it really often, especially not with Wu.
Unfortunate.
Especially not with Wu. And Wu pitched well today, man. That's too bad.
He pitched absolutely amazing, but it was just this really weird inning that just happened.
But Wu was already on a pitch count to begin with today, so that this isn't surprising.
But I don't.
So now Service goes back to the tried and true, which is matchups, and that's it, man. He acts like he has a bunch of Hall of Famers on the back end. That's funny. It's true. Yeah, but this is what he does though, right? So Scott Service is a lover of the matchups. Lefty versus lefty, and for Taylor Saucedo though, he's gonna have to stay low and away. We're talking like sweepers.
I would have, if I'm Brian Wu, I would have just walked him and just let him finish the inning. Like, I just know that I think this is going to be a disaster, and I think I am convinced that if the Mariners get out of this inning clean, I'm going to refund the guy $3. I'm going to refund him.
Here we go. Lefty, and we'll see if it pays off.
And that is inside for a ball.
We'll see. I like the fact that he started him inside.
Home runs to right field upper deck at T-Mobile Park. Mo Vaughn, Carlos Delgado, Nomar Marza, Joey Gallo, Daniel Vogelbach, Shohei Ohtani, and now Yordan Alvarez. The pitch. Yeah. And that is a strike.
Yep. And I like one of
by the way.
Yep. And one of the things you just don't want to do is let Yordan get extended. So
do not give him an in the middle thing. Do not.
Yeah, so he's either going to go inside on the hands or he's going to go low and away here.
And that's what Saucedo's doing. He is keeping it away. I think
that's funny.
I think if it's like a 3-1, I think they're just gonna take the walk, which I wouldn't mind, honestly.
That's funny. Robbie Ray wasn't available.
You know what kind of hashtag that makes Mariner fans upset? I just say Robbie Ray versus Yordan Alvarez. And now here is a fly ball to center field. It's going deep, very deep, and caught by Julio. Oh, and he drops the ball. He drops the ball, and that is going to score in a run. And Julio is shaken up, and he is hurt.
Oh, boy.
And this is not what you want to see. And that's a triple for Yordan Alvarez, by the way. And he is hurting. This is not what you want to see at all. And this is very concerning.
Oh, boy. And that's the thing, right? So Scotty lifts Brian Wu. And I think I'm with you because we already had a feeling this was going to happen. Yordan gets extended. And now Julio, and I hope that's not a knee issue because that's looking like he's favoring his knee.
Oh, like if
Julio
is missing time for an extended time, I'm putting blood's going to be on Scott Service's hands on this one because.
And by the way, this is the last thing you need to, where the Mariners are still in contention and now Julio's down, and now it's like what? Right at the deadline too. So what do you do? If you're Dipoto, is this now a wave the white flag?
Wave the white flag, or is it reload up and make those trades, because when Julio went down last time in 22, they still made that trade for Luis Castillo. So I don't think that's what this would be the excuse to just wave the white flag. But
now Jazz Chisholm is looking really good, don't you think?
Yeah, and now
Play
Miami
center
can
field.
use that as leverage. Like, hey, you don't have Julio, so we're gonna hold you to a ransom.
I'm hoping that this isn't serious and that Julio maybe can.
If I was a Mariner, you know what needs to happen? Whenever a starter gets pulled this insanely early, Scott Service should be met with boos. The moment he's out, I'm telling you, Mariner fans, to just boo the living crap out of him. The good news is he's not like, at least he's still kind of. You think he's out?
Up.
Oh, he's up.
He's up. I want to see him walk around because it might be an ankle.
One is okay. That is happening. And Scott Service, you idiot. If I'm Julio, I would be like, why'd you pull out Woo, man?
Yeah,
I would say that right in his
walking.
face. And he's not going to cut him anyway.
It looks like he's walking here.
He's walking, but I think he's out.
Yeah, he's going to be done for the day.
I think so.
He's done. He's done. Well, it's Service, man. He's not going to continue to play him. He's going to pull him. So the issue is, is this going to be a
10 game for sure?
Yeah, no, I'm hoping that it's not, and that he'll be out for a couple days, but he'll be back. Because if it was really serious, he wouldn't be walking right now. You know what I mean? Like if this was and he made the catch too. By the way, he made the catch, hits the wall, and then the ball comes out. Oh,
if Julio is out for a long time, blood is on Service's hands. Shoulda kept.
It looks like he's okay. It looks like he's okay. So he's coming out as a precaution. I would think that the next couple days that he'll ice and rehab, but I would probably think that Julio is going to be back within the week.
Yeah, but still, you're going to be losing him for quite a bit some time. The only positive thing of not having Julio, not that I should be saying that, is maybe your strikeouts go down, but that's about it. And that's not saying much at all.
I would think for the rest of this game, you're probably going to see Clase, who can really, I think he's the only guy who can actually play the position.
Mariners
right now
actually do play well when he's playing statistically. And now Scott Service, I'm telling you this right now. Yordan Alvarez against lefties bats 308, 385 OBP, 949 OPS, 44 bombs in his career.
Yeah, you know what? I seem to agree with you that it would have been a little with first base open. It would have made a lot more sense to walk him and then just attack the next hitter. Yeah,
but Service is playing the matchup, and here's the thing: if he really cares about analytics, he would actually be taking the time, like dumb people like me looking up those kind of numbers. But he doesn't even do that. He's like, left.
By the way, how many times does Yordan Alvarez have to crush your lefties for you to understand that playing the matchups probably is not there's certain times where you could play the matchups 100%. Yeah, like that's the thing. It's like there's certain now Ty France is going to take first base, and it looks like Luke Raley's going to play center field.
And now our offense is going to be neutralized because of that.
So yeah, it's like there's a time and there's a place where you can play the matchups, but then there's other times where it's like, yeah, with an open base at first base, I would have walked him, and I would have gone off for the next hitter, and then you can use Taylor Saucedo in another situation.
The only good thing out of this is it does give me YouTube short content where I'm going to say, no, do not pull up Brian Wu. Do not do the lefty. And then moments later, Julio is out.
I wonder if they're going to move Robles to center and then they put, what's his bucket, Raley in left.
Something like that. And Dylan Moore to right, I guess.
And now you have Diaz versus Saucedo with a runner with a tying run at third base.
So the matchup thing really does lose its credibility for that.
And now it's 2-0 now. How to lose a game in 5 easy minutes
by playing the stupid matchups. That's all you have to do. And looks like what is going on? They're putting him So they're doing something that they should have done to Yordan Alvarez with Brian Wu on.
So now now he's intentionally walking Yainer Diaz. Yeah, it's funny. Scott's no feel for the game, strikes out. Yeah. Yeah, let's be honest. It's done.
Saucedo is also looking notably frustrated too. Look at him. The body language just says it all.
Yeah,
And it looks like Pete Woodworth is going to come out to have a little chat with him. See, this is why I do shows like this, because you get to hear an actual perspective of how I actually feel. Because you have Root Sports going, oh, yeah, great job for Brian Wu. Let's hope that Taylor Saucedo can get out of this inning. When you had 2 outs.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, the only thing here is like, now you have to attack the strike zone. You have to get that final out and leave the tying run. But what's funny, so you walk Diaz to get to Chas McCormick, and I understand, right? He's only hitting 203 on the year, so it's the matchup is a little bit better. But that being said, at any portion of the plate, any portion of the plate, it could be, this game could be tied up.
And a swing and a miss, strike 1. Offense is going to have to do really big things, because we know a 3-2 lead is not going to be enough, especially when Scott Service kind of forgot who Gregory Santos is.
Yeah, but this is not. I don't think this is the inning for Santos. Me personally,
yes,
yeah,
I agree.
After Yordan Alvarez, I would have gone to Voth, and not have kept Tyler Saucedo in the game.
And we're looking at an 0-2 count. Fans are getting up on their feet to encourage Taylor Saucedo to get this done. And yes, if the Mariners, I will give my $3. It's 0-2 pitch. And that is a ball. Here's my plan. If if the Mariners get out of this inning clean, I owe him $3. I don't owe him $3 because this is not a clean inning.
Well, no, it is, because they already scored a run in the second.
Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's going to retire the side. But
I left the tying run on third base, so
I guess
but
good for Saucedo. But that being said, though, I mean, you lose Julio in the inning, and you made the mistake by not walking Yordan Alvarez, and you walk Yainer Diaz. Yeah, dude, I'm just
even analytics geeks are going to say that's a horrible idea. Of like, when's he going to learn? Like, did Service forget about Robbie Ray? Because from what I recall,
I think that this is going to be the inning where the Mariners need to tack on a few insurance runs, because Chad Lewis is right. It feels like this is going to be an impossible task for them to hold this lead for the next 3 innings. So you're going to need at least another run, if not 2, to at least give you some comfort. But that being said, it's like, geez, we need this win so bad. Good Lord, man.
yeah.
So that was such a stupid move here. You're right. I mean, analytics aside, that was a dumb move.
No, even analytics would even go against that move.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's weird.
Now, if Yordan was batting like less than maybe 250, then maybe I'll take it. Maybe.
To play some devil's advocate, I think Service is watching this game and seeing that the Astros were starting to come alive, right? And so, even if they take the bat out of Yordan's hands and you load the bases, the wonder is if a base hit scores 2 and all of a sudden it's tied, whereas if you bring a lefty in and mitigate the damage. But that being said, it's like, Yordan Alvarez is Yordan Alvarez.
They're doing a drone show. What do you think of those drone show things?
I've never seen one, but I think drones are pretty sweet, though. My ex-wife has got one, and her footage on the drone is just unbelievable. I think they're pretty
Maybe
cool.
Someday I'll do YouTube content off of a drone someday. Here's the pitch to Cal, and that is going to be a ball.
Isn't Spire back? I think so. I think he is.
Don't get me wrong. I love Taylor Saucedo, but that just wasn't the right time to use him.
Fastball again, right down the middle of the plate, fouled away. I love how fans want to sit there and tell me that his X slugging is like 5 something. when it versus the fastball, but yet when you see
Oh,
it,
and a check swing. Look at that.
and when you actually see him bat and you see him whiff on fastballs, it's like you're like, I don't give a shit really what the numbers say. It's like your eye tells you the entire story.
And I'm seeing really bad swings by Cal Raleigh, the 1-2 pitch. And that is up high for a ball, 2-2. And it's just really painful to see Cal Raleigh's batting average at 211 with 20 home runs. I mean, yeah, 20 home runs, but the 211 I look at the most. The 2-2 pitch, and look at that. He's just chasing that.
Yep.
I don't like that.
He got a piece of it.
I still don't like it though.
Yeah. Oh, I hear you. But yeah, it's like, that's the story. It's like, you can tell me slugging all you want, and yeah, that's a big part of it. And I understand that batting average doesn't tell the entire story, but it does tell you if a guy's hitting or not.
We're looking at the 2-2, and that's going to be popped up, and that actually is going to be more than playable. There, making the catch. Blanco at 95 pitches, service would never. That is true, but he did allow George Kirby to go 100 pitches. It's just that he hates using Brian Wu after like 60 pitches for whatever reason.
By the way, Cal Raleigh is one of the worst 2-strike hitters on this team.
There's a reason why he has a huge strikeout rate. And now here is Jorge Polanco hit that home run.
He hit the dinger.
He did. And hopefully he can do it again, because we need another one, because we all know the 3-2 lead is just not nearly going to be enough.
Not nearly enough.
And now here's the 1-0. And that's going to be up high, and that's going to be a 2-0 count on Jorge Polanco.
That's awesome. Polanco's at 95. Service would never.
Never at all. The 2-0. And that's a swing and a miss. Strike one, 2-1 the count.
Yeah, that's taboo, man. Pitchers pitching in the 90s. Yeah, that's taboo. That's taboo.
No, it's taboo. But yet, Scott Service likes to burn through his bullpen. And here's a line drive, and that is a base hit.
There you go.
Jorge Polanco so far. And now I'm curious to see what his numbers are in the second half so far. They're probably not much different, but whatever.
Look at his second half splits, man. It's not bad.
Jay Trident Podcast just reached out to me.
What's going on with Jay?
He says they pitched to Jordan, then I'm going to say I would have kept Wu, walked Diaz, and then take care of it. And now here's a pop-up once again, and looks like Astros may have the momentum on this one, and he makes the catch. Jay Trident Podcast last year was basically you. He had your role where he was my color man.
Yeah, so second half for Jorge Polanco. He is hitting 278 with a 343 OBP. He's slugging 468 with an 810 OPS. OPS plus of 111. 60 home runs, 236 RBI compared to his first half numbers. Much better second half hitter than he is a first half. Yeah.
Cole Young, I'm looking at his numbers in Arkansas. He's only 20 years old. That's the crazy thing. He's batting 264, a 358 OBP, 55 strikeouts and 42 walks in 78 games. So he will still be a fringe 100 strikeout hitter when it's all said and done.
Cole, you started talking about Cole Young, right?
Cole Young, yeah.
Yeah.
If the Mariners were bad this year, they would have called him up by now.
Perhaps.
But they're not going to. JP has to suffer
Mariners,
like a horrible injury to make it happen.
Yeah. The Mariners are kind of bad. Yeah, let's see. Zero patience by these hitters, man. Holy hell. Yes and no. I will say that I like the fact that they're trying to be aggressive against Blanco. I like it because they're going to get a lot of first pitch fastballs, and I think they should be aggressive on it. But there's also certain situations where you might want to show a little patience and get your pitch. But that being said, even in a lot of situations this year where they were being a little bit more patient, they still weren't squaring up their pitches anyway. So you might as well get a little reckless with a fastball early.
I tweeted saying, "Is Scott Service aware that Jordan kills lefties?" And people are actually looking at it. I mean, yes. I mean, yeah, he got a triple out of it too. Like it should have been caught, yes, but if you have Brian Wu, you walk him, or at least he maybe doesn't hit like that again because he hits lefties much more severely against righties.
So now we get what? Seth Martinez.
Seth Martinez on the mound. We got Mitch Haniger. Now the pitch. And that is a strike. And given the situation, PD Master, I'll give you another opportunity. If Mitch Haniger gets an RBI out of this in any capacity, I'll refund you the $3.
Did it make sense for Mitch Haniger to take this at bat? You know, did it really?
But who do we have? Who could have taken over? Like Jonathan Clase in this situation?
Don't we have the black hole, Dom Canzone?
No, he's on an IL.
He's on the IL. Okay. Yeah.
Now here's the 0-2. I hate to say it. It's an addition by subtraction because Canzone is just atrocious.
Yeah, he's 100%. But a left-handed batter, like if you want to play the matchups, yeah, why not Jonathan Clase? I
guess so in that regards. And we're looking at a 2-0. He's a 205 hitter. Ugh, the pitch. And now here's a line drive blooping. That's a base hit. And we got in third base. And we got runners at the corners. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Christian, you're a Cubs fan. Stay in your lane, buddy.
I'll say this. You guys should know that the M's are a good team and will advance. Of course they will. But we're also longtime Mariner fans. And you know what? Until they actually prove it, we are literally going to take a giant shit on this team until they can actually prove it. Because we're actually kind of fed. We're fed up.
Because I don't care if Mariners Mojo raise the trident or the Mariners themselves collude to get us canceled. I don't care. I will do it to the death. Shit on
dude, you can't cancel me, dude. I'm uncancelable. Like I'm gonna come back and like if anybody tries, I'm gonna come back and just rain fire on somebody. But so let's see a rare hit. Yeah.
Rayleigh. Oh, he's over 22 in his last 22 at bats. He's got to get a big hit on this one.
Yeah, but you know what though, man? He's due. He's got
to be due. And plus, they're not even giving him at bats against lefties either. That's the problem. And now here's the pitch. And now here's a fly ball to deep right field. Is that going to go? That is good. That is a home run for Luke Rayleigh. Luke Rayleigh with a 3-run home run, and the Mariners have extended the lead to make it 6-2.
Yes!
What a bomb!
Fuck yes! Fuck yes! Luke. You gotta hang. You got one hanging right out of the middle of the plate. Oh, that's exactly what you want to see from this offense. A clutch situation where Martinez leads one hanging right out over the plate, and Luke Rayleigh just exit stage left. And that's funny. Who needs patience when you can hit dingers? And here's the reality. And we were talking about this all game long. There is a time where you can actually be reckless on the first pitch, because especially if you're going to get something that sits right out of the heart of the plate, take your chances. And you know what? Rayleigh got it all.
Bombed.
All. By the way, credit Mitch Haniger for keeping this
freaking inning.
Keep him. Seriously, give him credit because he extended the inning with that bloop single that put Rayleigh in a position to extend this game. And what were we talking about going into this inning? This is now the time for the Mariners to add on, and they added on in such a big way. That was a huge shot.
More, and that's a ball. And PD Master. Mitch Haniger didn't do the RBI, yes. So you're not gonna get your $3. I'll give you $1.50. How's that? I think that's fair.
Dude, come on, man. Come on now. Don't sit on your wallet, man. Give him back the money. Give PD Master back the money.
No, I said that he has to. Mitch Haniger had to procure the RBI, but he didn't.
No, here's what I will say, man. By doing that, it's good business because you know what? The reputation will get out. It's going to be a good reputation. Trust me when I'm telling you, this is good for business because it's actually going to benefit you in the long run.
Well, do the Mr. Beast thing. Oh, you didn't do this, but I'll give you the money anyway. You want me to Mr. Beast him?
No, I just want you to. I just want you to be a decent dude.
$1.50.
Okay, fine, $1.50.
$1.50.
You know,
otherwise,
you can also Dave Chappelle him and just say, "Fuck it, there is no refunds."
Hey, I'm trying to
Let's
show
go,
some
JP.
little Mr. Beast in me. And now here's
Let's
the
go,
pitch,
JP.
and that is a strike. You guys are way
You-
too harsh on your team. Good grief. Christian?
So here's the thing, Christian. We're talking about a team that has basically been in existence for 50 years with only 5 playoff appearances and more losing seasons than winning seasons. There's a reason why. There's a reason why there's a like. Here's the thing. It's like I'm sure it was with the Cubs for 50 years. You know what I mean? Where
Almost
it's like
100.
it's like where what's the definition of insane? Doing the exact same thing and hoping for a different outcome. It's
1-1.
It's the Mariners, man. It's the Mariners.
And a swing and a miss, strike 2. And this is the JP Crawford that we are used to, unfortunately.
But make no mistake, I love this baseball team. I've been watching this team since I was 6 years old, and I'll say this, man.
Now
I
runner
love this
goes,
baseball team.
and the throw to second base, and that is in time.
Got him.
I could have felt that one. I think he was.
By the way,
out.
No. Here's the thing: 17 winning seasons out of 47. Just because you finish above 500 doesn't make it a winning season. A winning season is playoffs or better. That's a winning season in my book. Just finishing 82 and 80 is not a winning season. That just means you were 2 games better than 500. That's not winning to me because you didn't win anything.
Yeah. And PD Master is still been donations. Anyone else want to play? I know Flick the Switch is not going to. So that's fine, whatever.
So hold on. So he's given you $4. Do I get 50% of that? Do I get 2 of those $4 for helping you on the call today? Or are you just going to be stingy and not hook a brother up?
What's your phone number? Text it to me. You won't do it? Because if I get a little bit bigger, then you definitely are gonna have you're definitely gonna be like, hey, where's.
Well, here's what I mean, if it turns out that we actually end up and it works out that we're actually a pretty good duo, and all of a sudden it like clicks and all that good stuff, then yeah, I mean, eventually I'm going to ask for something. But
I also like your intro because I want to pull Mitch Haniger I want to pull JP and Mitch Haniger out of your intros. They have lost the privilege for that.
Nah, I like it.
No?
But yeah, okay. Well. Can you put like Mark Langston and Alvin Davis and like some, like a montage where it's like all the Mariner greats?
I would have to completely revamp I would have to completely overhaul the entire thing and put like different music on it.
The Mariners haven't. Yeah, no. I mean, it's like, yeah, that's the thing. It's like the Mariners literally have been mismanaged for 47 years, and it's like, yeah, that's cool, man. You have a couple seasons where you finished above 500s. Okay, well, whatever. It's like, dude, they haven't won the division in 23 years. They've only won it 3 times and had a 22-year playoff drought. It's like there's a reason why I shit on this team so much, but it's my team, so I can.
2 of them were kind of on the skin of their teeth. 95 was at the skin of their teeth.
Yeah.
97 was drama filled. They won with cushion, but
there's only two seasons in which they won the division with cushion. 97 and 2001. In 2000, they got the wild card on the last day of the season, and in 95 is a 1-game playoff.
Yeah, so they got in very dramatic fashion. The pitch, and here's a fly ball drilled to left field. Forget about that one. That is a home run given up by Colin Snyder, and the lead has been cut to 3. But that was Jeremy Pena with a home run.
Dude, that ball was crushed. So I will say that. Yeah, it's interesting that Colin Snyder's in right now, but
it's a 3-run lead. That's why Scott Service is doing, because he feels comfortable with a 4-run lead. But I wouldn't feel comfortable because Mariners have blown a 4-run lead with this kind of margin back in the 2022 playoffs. What's
funny is, we were applauding Luke Raley for taking advantage of breaking balls right out in front. And Jeremy Pena just did the exact same thing. Colin Snyder left that slider just out over the plate. Holy
Colin
shit!
Snyder really shouldn't be on this team.
No, he really shouldn't be.
If Scott Service managed his bullpen just slightly better, Matt Brash is still pitching on this team. I can tell you. I'll take that. He wore out Matt Brash last year.
No
one talks about that.
What's funny is they DFA Mike Bowman. Okay. But the crazy thing is, I thought for sure we'd see a Logan Evans by now. Although I heard they moved him back to the rotation.
They moved him back to starting rotation.
Yeah, it's like what's crazy is the Mariners need bullpen help too. Like we can talk about corner outfielders and everything, but they really need help in the bullpen.
Oh wow! He says if Mitch Haniger hits a home run, he's gonna pay me $10.
I would like to see the Mariners trade with the
in the bullpen.
Yeah, there you go.
Woo!
I'd like to see the Mariners trade with the White Sox. Maybe a deal that gives us Luis Robert Jr. and Michael Kopech. That would be a solid deal too. You get your bullpen piece and your outfielder.
And at this point, as much as I love Las Montez, the thing is, knowing how this team runs its thing, I actually wouldn't mind getting rid of him because one, there's no time for him, and two, he strikes out like a mofo, so there's no point at this point.
But the other thing is with the way that the Mariners draft and the way the Mariners sign international free agents, you can
there's nothing to worry about.
You're going to be able to replace Las Montez with another Las Montez. It's not the end of the world. It's like, I understand Baseball America loves him because he's got power, but like right now the Mariners are trying to develop his plate discipline, and it hasn't necessarily.
No, has not. And by the way, we got a strikeout out of Colin Snyder. Good for him to redeem himself on that.
Let him develop in the White Sox system, and if he pans out, good for him.
And now here's a ground ball, and that is a base hit by the Trey Cabbage, the same man who robbed Julio Rodriguez of that home run. And that was a great play. I can't hate on that, but I know Mariner fans last night, they even tried to pull a racist agenda on it, which made no sense.
What was the agenda?
I have no idea what they were trying to do. I think I think Astros were pointing out the no-fly zone thing.
Because he's white or what? Oh, because he so why? Because he caught the ball and then did the whole no-fly zone thing.
I guess so.
Because Julio.
Oh no! A wild throw, and now we got a man on second base, possibly going to third base because Ty France is slow as shit. And I think Colin Snyder gotta get him out of here.
Well, that's just Seattle, though, right? They'll look for anything to pull the race card. It's funny. That was with the Hector
Neris and the Julio Rodriguez thing. It was just terrible. Pure trash talking, and because the Mariners lost, Seattle Times wanted to distract them by saying Hector Neris said a certain thing that shouldn't have been said, and Suarez went out of his way to blow it up too, which I thought was ridiculous.
That's crazy. So basically a wild throw now puts a runner in scoring position here with one out, and this Colin Snyder.
This is games like this and decisions like this where I can't even blame John Stanton for it. The 0-1, and that is fouled.
Yeah, but you know what though? This is I'll just say this: like if the Astros come back to tie it or take the lead, you have no choice but to. You pin this on Scott Service's lapel, right? He's the one that made his bullpen choices.
0-2. And a swing and a miss, strike three.
Good pitch. Fastball right down the middle. Good pitch.
It really is.
That's interesting that he swung right through it, but good strikeout, man. Snyder. It's weird because Snyder's not throwing the ball terribly. His only mistake really was the hanger to Pena, and then obviously that shitty wild throw at first base, but.
And is Scott Service going to pull him out? Yep, I think that is going to, because they're going to play. Are they playing the matchup? I don't know. And he does not deserve a slap in the butt either. And yep, he's going to pull him out, and that's going to be Gregory Santos. And Gregory Santos better get one more inning after this too.
Yeah. So last night they went with Trent Thornton for an inning and a third, and it probably makes sense at this point. You'll probably see Santos in the
and then hopefully Munoz in the ninth inning.
Yeah.
And I'm taking a look at Las Montez's numbers, by the way. In Everett, 1 home run, 7 RBIs in 16 games, 24 strikeouts to 6 walks, 212 with a 297 OBP. He's going to be in Everett for a while. He's not going to Double-A.
Yeah, and I'll say this. I'll say this again, that there's no prospects that are untouchable. I like Las Montez and I like Cole Emerson and I like some of these guys, but that being said, I also like seeing winning at the major league level. And that's the thing with this team's ability to draft and this team's ability to sign international free agents. And the fact that they've already rebuilt this farm system twice in the last 5 years already, and to get it to a to put this farm system at a high level, they're going to be able to do it again. And so in this situation, you can trade your top 6 prospects and still be fine. The Mariners need help, and they need help in a big way.
They have the assets to more than.
And Jerry Dipoto can't hoard his prospects at this deadline.
You can't hold them forever. Like, this is the time to go for that World Series, because I don't want to have to make a nostalgic video where I say, how did the Mariners not win with Julio Rodriguez, Cal Raleigh, Logan Gilbert, George Kirby? Like, I do not want to make a video like that. I'd rather not.
Did you see that the U.S. beat the South Sudan as 43.5 favorites in what sport, Christian?
Basketball. And imagine if you put $10 on Sudan if they won, you would have made probably $100.
You know what? I think I saw a headline about how this USA basketball team isn't even close to some of the better teams, but it's still pros in basketball. Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Flick of the switch. I know what you're saying. Flick of the switch. Yeah, I mean, let's win the division first. No, I agree.
Now here's Gregory Santos. Finally, and here is a ground ball to Rojas. The throw to first, and that's in time. And that is going to retire the side on a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. And we go to. I wonder if they're going to win. God bless America.
They are. Isn't Steph Curry on this basketball? Isn't Steph Curry on that basketball team?
Yeah. But before we talk about that, you know what time it is?
No. It's what? 7th inning stretch.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd.
Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if they ever get back.
So let's root for the Mariners. If they don't win, it's a shame. It would be a shame because they're up 6-3. For it's 1, 2,
3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Giggity. Yeah, no, it's like, I'm glad that you agree, Flick. I absolutely agree that Dipoto needs to get us a couple bats. I think everybody agrees with that.
Even Mariner delusional fans will agree with that.
Yeah, it's.
You had to hit the mute, but you know what? Freedom of choice, I guess.
I just think that it's not just big game hunting, because I heard that the Astros are going to try hard for Pete Alonso, which would be a huge get for the Astros. But for the Mariners, if you can get Vlad Jr. or if you can get Luis Robert Jr., fantastic. But Isaac Paredes, great, man. I'll take either one of those 3. But the idea is that getting guys like Jazz and getting guys like Conforto or Andy Ibanez also helps as well too. By the way, Andy Ibanez is crushing left-handed pitching.
Speak of Ibanez, Raul Ibanez, and I actually talked to him for like a few seconds. He was the most uptight mofo I ever met.
So when I was covering this team, and I was in the clubhouse, the 2 guys that were like the most confrontational, not confrontational, but you can tell, like, if you said something wrong, there would be a problem, were Mike Morse and Raul Ibanez. Those 2 guys didn't want to talk to anybody at all. It was crazy. It's like, okay, cool. Because Mike Morse and I share a mutual friend, my buddy who does a lot of he does a lot of memorabilia, signed memorabilia. And then when Mike Morse was originally coming up with the Mariners, he was coming through the system. Yeah, he and Mike Morse struck up a little bit of a friendship, and so I was trying to bring that up, and he was like, "Dude, I just don't want to talk to you." And I was like, "Okay."
Now, maybe it makes sense why Lou Piniella never really gave him a chance, because of stuff like that. Other than the fact that the Mariners were kind of loaded in depth.
Hey, by the way, flick the switch. I disagree. I just don't think Dakota's publicly going to tell you what direction he's leaning in. It's like those, his comments were like the king of saying something without saying anything at all. I think he was just holding his cards close to his vest.
Poker. The pitch.
My poker face, my poker face.
Poker face.
Poker can't read my.
And look what Houston's doing. They're allowing their pitcher to pitch one more inning, so you're saving arms for the next inning. What a concept!
So 0-1, J.P. Crawford gets a fastball middle up, and he fouls it away. Good Lord, this dude cannot hit a fastball at all.
No, we got to move this guy down.
Carry my. No, you can read my.
The 1-2. And a foul ball again. And that was also a pitch for him, too. A very weak fastball.
90 mile an hour fastball up, and he fouls it away again. Yeah, dude, Chad Lewis, dude, yeah.
But hey, at least it's taking like 5 extra pitches to strike him out.
Moral victory.
The pitch. And that's a ball.
Yeah, it's insane at how bad this team is when it comes to the fastball. It's insane. Popped up again, fastball up and in. What's funny is I think I said earlier in this broadcast that I wouldn't mind seeing Josh Rojas go back to leadoff. Even Robles, I guess. Although I kind of like Robles hitting too, though. The
2-2. And now here's a line drive base hit into the gap, and I think
JP
base.
Wow.
And he's going to stay at first base.
So wow. So JP that was the JP of old right there, taking what a pitcher's willing to give you and dumping it into left field. Wow, JP with an old JP-ish hit.
The Dumbledore clap. That's what he gets.
Yeah. Wow.
But then when Harry Potter got into Gryffindor.
Yeah. How about, by the way, how about a 2-run bomb by Victor Robles right here?
How about that? Let's do that to Victor Robles. And now here is the pitch. And that is popped up. Not exactly a great pitch to hit on that one.
Yeah, it's up a little too up in the zone. But Victor Robles today, though, how about that, though? A double, single, and a stolen base. He's had himself He's had himself a nice day, and it's true. It's hilarious and stunned we are when other guys get singles.
0-1 and a foul ball. And that's the thing that Robles has to work on is he is still chasing. Like he was chased. Those are 2 bad pitches that shouldn't have been chased.
Yeah, but what's crazy though is in the first inning, what was great was the first inning in an 0-2 count. He doubled down the left field line.
Man, a PD Master really loves Sedona. Keep it coming.
No, what I really
strike 3 called. He doesn't even.
That's
ouch.
No. What's funny though is that I think the money is because I was singing Lady Gaga. I think that's really what it comes down to.
I haven't listened to Lady Gaga in years.
It's the talent of me.
And now here is Ty up to the bat, and I'm not sure
Rally Killer?
Anything. And now here's the pitch, and now here's a ground ball, and now here's a throw to second, a throw to first.
Woo!
In time for the double play, and Ty France.
Flick of the switch. Flick of the switch was right. Double play
this is for you, Ty France. That was so bad, I'm going to the bathroom.
No, I'm absolutely 100% with you, Chad Lewis. It's unfortunate because, Ty was an all-star 2 years ago, had a very good 2021 and a very good 2022. The reality was that he decided to sell out for pull side power because he's playing a position where it requires power. Instead of just staying the course with his production, he decided that's why he went to Driveline. He went to Driveline to develop more pull side power, and obviously it didn't pay off. And I'm with you. I don't care if Locklear struggles. I don't think Locklear would struggle. He's playing excellent down in Tacoma right now. But it's time for Ty to go, and I would like to see them DFA Ty France and eat the remaining 1.52 million left on this year's deal, and let Tyler Locklear have his run. I'm at that point where I'm 100% with you. But that's the thing. It's like they've given Ty enough run. You know what I mean? Like Ty struggled last year. Okay, cool. Maybe it was an aberration. And then, this year coming into it, that's the thing. It's like Ty went to Driveline to develop more pull side power. It hasn't worked out. And now you've given him enough run. You've given him one half of the season to correct whatever was ailing him. And now it's clearly it hasn't worked. And now it's time for Ty Locklear to step in and get some at-bats, man.
I mean, just look at his physique. I mean, he has like the body of like a potential to be like a 25, 30 home run guy.
Yeah, he meets
he
the
has
profile,
the tools
doesn't
to
he?
do that.
Yeah, he does.
He's got that beard that speaks intimidation. He looks like an alpha male type.
Well, now that Ty Locklear is absolutely killing the ball down in Tacoma.
And now here's a ground ball to JP Crawford, throw to first in time.
And that's the thing. It's time, man. It's time to end the Ty France experiment. It's time to at least reset the position with Locklear. Now, if you want to address it in the trading deadline, fair. But it's time. It's time.
And now here's the scary Yordan Alvarez who's up to bat. And Yordan not only hit a single, a home run, and a triple. He's actually a double away from the cycle.
Yeah, he is.
Honestly,
I actually kind of want to see it.
I want to see it so I can put it on my YouTube going, Yordan Alvarez with a cycle. Make the Houston fans happy, because I do have some Houston fans on my channel.
It's so rare to see the cycle, but but you're also conceding a double off of Gregory Santos, and I don't want to see that. So,
and here's the 1-0, and that is a strike. And for sure he's gonna race his way for second base in some capacity.
100%.
He has to. He's 3 for 3. Home run, triple, and a single. Contributed to 2 runs and got Julio Rodriguez hurt.
Yep, drove in 2 of the 3 runs in Houston's day.
The Mariner killer. The pitch. And what a nice fastball. 100-mile-an-hour heat. And that is a strike.
100 miles an hour in the top inside quadrant. That was a beautiful pitch.
It's batting .299 with 20 home runs and 54 RBIs. The pitch. Oh, and that is a foul ball. He kind of tripped up.
Wouldn't that be
like?
By the way, wouldn't that?
Oh, and he's kind of hobbling. Oh no, this is not good for Yordan Alvarez.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if the Mariners had a dude in their lineup that was basically hitting 300 with 20 bombs?
That would be the day. I don't even know that was happening. Oh, he actually swung at the ball being hit in the shin.
Yeah, right above the shin protector. That thing hurts.
I've been hit by those things. It ain't good.
By the way, that was supposed to be Julio Rodriguez, the guy who hits close to 300 with 20 bombs at this point in the season. That was supposed to be
take
Julio.
Alvarez out of there just to play it.
Yeah.
I am not going to say an opinion on that.
Well, who was the player that fouled his? Like, there was a player that God, I can't remember. He was a Mariner player who fouled the ball off his shin and then was out for the rest of the year because he had spider fractures in the shin. The ball where the ball hit, it created like a spider web.
1-2. And there is a base hit, and I think Yordan Alvarez is going to get the cycle. He's going to second base, and congratulations to Yordan Alvarez with that cycle.
Hits for the cycle. Unbelievable.
Be careful what you wish for, right?
Congratulations, Yordan. You played a hell of a game. I mean, those are the type of things where you tip your cap. But he gets the pitch too, and it's low and away on a split that stays up, and then
ovation because
and he ropes it down the right field line. Good Lord! And now he's got the side. Congratulations, though.
Can't hate on that.
You can't hate on it, man.
And Mariner fans hate Yordan Alvarez all over the home run against Robbie Ray, except that wasn't Yordan's fault. He took advantage.
But I will say this, though. The Mariners are still leading by 3, so
Yeah, but you know how vulnerable that is with the Mariners.
Yeah, he's
And now
Julio
here-
is he is the anti-Alvarez 100%.
Well, that's the second cycle in history. I doubt that the Mariners got a cycle in Seattle, or not in Seattle, but in T-Mobile Park.
There you go. Great play by Ty at first.
The 1-1. And now here's and that is maybe a bait. Nope, the throw to first. And he gets in time, just barely.
Wow, looks like Ty hurt. Looks like Ty hurt himself trying to get those splits going on. That splits action there at first base.
I think
But
he
now-
split his pants.
And now what is it? Santos now has an issue with his hand.
Oh God, not again.
Oh, it's on his glove hand. So the ball caroms off his glove hand. Oh boy.
I should be okay.
Good play by the way, heads up play by Polanco. Ooh, nice play by Ty France too.
Bad throw by Polanco though.
It was a heads up play. And he's fine. Santos is fine.
Oh, like, so Santos is a big dude. He kind of has the same body as Diego Castillo.
You were kind of wondering if Service was going to take him out as a precaution.
Man, that's the thing. Service does those things where he takes someone out based on something that might happen.
Yeah, he's a loser.
He is a loser.
He's a loser.
Hey, what'd you think of that home run that Yoron hit against Robbie Ray? Oh yeah, these things happen. Huh?
Fuck.
Are you serious? You're ahead of me? You better be tricking me, man. The pitch. And there's a ground ball base hit, and that is going to be 6-4 Astros or Mariners. I wish it was Astros. I could be more angry.
It's a dude who's hitting 204. He gets a fastball right over the heart of the plate and just drives it into center field. So
it looks like Santos is just not the same.
And you're wondering if they're going to get Munoz up.
I would think so. With 2 outs, and then you can use him for the 9th inning. At
there
this
it is.
point, but depends who's on the lineups because it's not the top of the lineup anymore.
There it is.
And
there it is.
And there's a fly ball to center field, trying to battle the sun. And he makes the catch. Good catch by Victor Robles. And good approach on that catch.
That's good. All right. Houston just chipping away. Oh yeah. Astros can hit 100. Well, and again, Chad, it's because the nexus of an at bat. I can tell you when I was playing, the only pitch that I was looking for was fastball right down the middle, and I built everything off of fastball down the middle. Right, it actually helped me see off speed pitches. Not that I actually hit a lot of off speed pitches, but everything was fastball down the middle. And
Stanek is warming up. You got to be kidding me. He's already banged up, and you pitched him yesterday, and you're gonna pitch him again?
No, they're not gonna pitch him again.
They cannot do that.
But that's the thing. It's like, you base everything off of fastball down the middle, and this team for whatever reason is not looking fastball at all. They're looking to not chase pitches, and coincidentally, that approach is making them chase fastballs. So Stanek is warming up instead of Munoz. Stanek, who, by the way, has got the back issue, and who yesterday got absolutely clubbed. And if Stanek is the one who's taken the 9th,
I don't like that. And plus, the Astros hitters know him.
That's going to be an issue. Yeah, I mean, as a former Astro, if anybody knows how to attack Stanek, it's going to be the Astros. But that being said, you're hoping it's Munoz.
It's got to be Munoz, and we are people crushing against Andres Munoz. We were criticizing him, saying that he's not the closer, but so far he has proved us wrong.
By the way, man, credit to Robles for using his glove to it was like for a second there I was like, ooh,
I actually got hit. I got hit in the face with those things on a pop fly. I actually got literally nailed in the face, and I started bleeding. And then I had my teammates going, "Hey, you want to come out?" I'm like, "No, let me finish."
Yeah, day games are hard to play in, especially if you're playing the outfield. I was a center fielder in left field, and depending on where the sun is at, it's the hardest thing to do is to track a ball in the air because you have your glove up trying to block out the sun so you can see the baseball.
And we're looking at Cal Raleigh. He's at a 1-0 count so far. And here's the pitch. And
Well,
that is going to be outside for a ball.
Well, now he's sitting 2-0, so let's see what's going on here. Nope, fastball. Fuck. Dude, it's kryptonite. Dude, it's kryptonite. I'm telling you, fastballs are kryptonite to this lineup.
They really are. The pitch. And that's fouled in the back.
If Cal goes crazy, then will you still call him Superman?
No. He's got a long ways to go. There should be more retired.
Yeah, it's funny. Fastball is my kryptonite.
The 2-1. And that is outside ball 3. Like that he's actually working on this count.
3-1 here. This is an advantageous account for Cal Raleigh. And there it is. High fastball. Can't lay off him.
You felt it. And the 3-1. And a swing and a miss, strike 2, 96.
And there's Andres Munoz up in the bullpen. Yes, Chad Lewis, that was definitely 3 doors down. I'm glad you caught that.
We're looking at a 6-4.
Cal Raleigh.
And now here's the 3-2. And now that's a fly ball, and that is not going to get it done. And that's going to be caught.
Dude, that was a terrible at-bat, bud.
That was
such
awful
a bad at-bat. He's 3-1, swings that ball 4, which was at the top of the zone, and then chases and flies out to left field.
Oh, but at least it took 6 pitches.
Cal Raleigh is lost. But Polanco, on the other hand, has two knocks today, including a dinger.
A home run, yeah. So he's actually been playing a little bit better. And now the pitch. And that is a foul ball. You do like the aggressiveness, but it's still sad to see him fouling off of a nice fastball.
Jorge, can you see? Ooh, that was a good pitch right there that he fouled away. He got around on it, though.
And now here's the pitch. And that is a ground ball foul. You had to swing at that one because it was in the zone.
Yeah. I should feel more comfortable with a 2-run lead and Munoz warming up than I do. I hear you, man. I'm not a Munoz guy. Not as a closer.
No.
And it would have been Paul Sewald had he not waved the white flag last year.
They waved the white flag during contention.
Mm-hmm.
And they were actually on a streak.
I love how Mariner fans were like, "No, it wasn't selling. It wasn't selling."
It was adding to the offense.
I was like, dude, that was 100% a sell.
And it was like a sell for no reason, as Polanco does get thrown out at first.
Yeah, and at least it's the bottom of the order for Houston. I agree.
Yeah, but if the Mariners aren't careful, then next thing you know, you got Yordan waiting to feast.
Josh Rojas,
who was part of the Paul Sewald trade. He's been the only player that has made up for it, and it's not saying much at all.
Well, at least he's the best of the 3.
Except Bliss really should be playing on this team.
Yeah, that's funny. Dipoto, Lewis says Dipoto also said that not even prime Babe Ruth would help this lineup at the deadline.
Did he really? He really said that? That's like terrible.
Yeah, you laugh at Dipoto because it's like, yeah, whatever, man. It's like, dude, prime Babe Ruth would be awesome in this lineup. Awesome.
Well, but would Babe Ruth been able to handle the new fastball spins and the conditioning?
Yes, he would. By the way, that's the second straight fastball down the pipe that Rojas has fouled away.
And now to think of it, Babe Ruth kind of was a cautionary tale for everyone because it's like, well, if you eat like that, you're going to die at 53.
Yeah. Dude, Babe Ruth was on the cheeseburgers.
And beer. Dude, that guy drank. Honestly, it wasn't so much of the childhood books would tell you that Babe Ruth died because he ate too much burgers and hot dogs. But in actuality, it was his alcohol problem and smoking that killed him.
Yeah, and the pussy
with the
too.
with the
That dude-
diet
that
that he
dude
had,
got
he could have
around.
made up with it, and he didn't even exercise either.
Yeah, that dude got around. Like,
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if Babe Ruth had like 3 kinds of syphilis.
and that's a
That
ground
dude
ball,
Yeah,
and that's
like,
out.
I'm telling you, man, Babe Ruth was up in all kinds of strange. Not just his wife. He was married, but he was like married. Okay, he was all up, dude. He was all up in that strange.
He definitely helped a few people make a living, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. That's funny. Babe Ruth was on the cheeseburgers, man, 100%. You know. Yep. Well, here we go. It's the 9th. Andreas
Munoz.
Andreas Ayala.
Andreas Ayala. Andreas Mesa.
Andreas Mesa. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I just think that, yeah, it's ass clinching time. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, we'll see, man. I know that Andreas Munoz did deal with that little back issue before the All-Star break that kind of zapped a little bit of his MPH, but the last couple times he looked pretty good. So it's here it is, man. Can Andreas come in and work a quick 9th? What do you think?
You never want to be too sure.
He said if he starts out the walk, hang on. No, I agree, dude. That's my biggest bugaboo with Andreas Munoz. Yeah, dude. Sometimes
At least Paul Sewald was more consistent.
Yeah, you just wonder if he gets ahead, then it's going to be a good outing. But if he's around the strike zone, and yeah.
One day I want to make a video when it's all said and done. Maybe if I have the smarts and the research to do it. What if Scott Service stayed with Paul Sewald against Jordan Alvarez? What could have happened?
He would have got out of the inning. That's what would have happened.
And the game.
Yeah.
And maybe they don't win that series, but at least they wouldn't have gone down like that.
Well, they win today. They hold on and they win today. Then they got the Angels, and the Mariners play better at home anyway. So I like the chances against the Angels, and maybe the Mariners can put together a nice little winning streak.
Let's hope so. And now here's the pitch. And that's a nice swing and a miss. And that was a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. I just hope that's not the velocity that he's topping out to. He has a 1.41 ERA, 46 strikeouts, 18 walks, 15 saves. And that all-star appearance was very well-deserved.
And oh, by the way, the last, that was 98. So there you go.
And the crazy thing is, none of the Mariners even played in that all-star game, which I was actually okay with.
Yeah, well, you know what's crazy is that the idea I still can't believe that if you wanted to rest Logan Gilbert, you could have rested him on that Sunday and let him go enjoy the All-Star game. But
and then have him pitch Friday.
No, it's because Service didn't want him pitching in the All-Star game. That's why he pitched him on Sunday.
And yet he still doesn't pitch him after an All-Star break.
Right, so you don't pitch him on the Sunday. You give him that extra day. You let him go enjoy the All-Star festivities. And oh, by the way, if he did play in the All-Star game, it would only been an inning anyway, and he still would have been able to come back for this
1-2.
Yeah, Service
and strike 3 called, and now we got 1 out, 2 outs to go.
Great slider right there at the bottom of the corner. By the way, good framing job by Cal Raleigh right there.
Really was. And Service did Logan Gilbert dirty in game 1 of the division series when he got pulled after 84 pitches. And I thought, yes, he gave up a couple runs, but he settled down. So I thought pulling him after 84 was unnecessary.
I agree.
The pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike 1. Trey Cabbage, the man who made that really nice catch, which caused some Mariner fans to lose their,
Trey Cabbage. Yeah, by the way, there's a certain sector of this fan base that I absolutely cannot stand.
When Mariners go bad, when they lose in certain ways, then they pull some kind of card. And the media,
it's the glad happy, it's the positive and progressive glad happy fans that are, they're the type of guys that will make excuses. You know what I mean?
1 and 2.
We'll try to grab their back and try to. Yeah, it's like, dude, I can't stand the progressive wing of this fan base. Scott,
If anything, they are actually the most negative fans.
Right, and they're the Scott Service forever, the Jerry DePoto forever.
Swing and a miss, and that hit the dirt. Strike 3, throw to first. And now we've got Astros down to their final out.
Yeah. It's the guys that love to make a racial issue out of nothing.
And you have Seattle
here we go,
Sports
man.
Saying, is
Great,
T-Mobile Park the reason why the offense sucks? It's like, no, it's because the offense sucks.
No, yeah, it's because the offense sucks. Here's Joey Loperfido, the worst last name in baseball.
Loperfido, I would not want to have that last name. No offense. And he has a 250 batting average with 2 home runs and 15 RBIs. And now here's the pitch, and that is low for a ball.
There's just going to be those glad, happy progressives that are all rainbows and lollipops and sunshine. And it's like, dude, just do yourself a favor and just watch baseball.
Watch baseball, learn it. The 1-0, and that is a foul ball. You know what I say? They say, stop being negative. Like, stop being negative about the Mariners. Stop being negative towards me.
Ooh, good pitch.
And we're looking at the 1-1 so far.
And now, all of a sudden, the home plate umpire is getting...
and now I think the umpire's like, I just want to go home. I'm done.
That's exactly right. Now, all of a sudden, they're giving the call on the outside corner. Because
that should have been a ball.
Yeah, that was 100% a ball.
Got him! Spoiler alert. Mariners won, I guess. Won. And now here is the 1-2 pitch on the way. And a swing and a miss. Strike 3. And the Mariners losing streak has come to a halt. They have taken the 3rd game of this series. And they avoid the sweep. And the Mariners are still sweepless this season.
Well, that was a must-win, right? I think everybody understood that, they didn't get, they came out of the break flat and they surrendered their division lead. And this was something that they absolutely needed. And I'm glad to see, what, I'm actually happy. I'm happy that they showed heart and they showed fight today. You know what I mean? Because that was something that they just did not show at all. And it was nice to understand that their backs were against the wall. They desperately needed a win. It was a must-win situation, or this thing could have spiraled out of control. And they showed up, and they delivered today, man. And by the way, credit Luke Raley for that fucking 3-run bomb. That one sealed it for me. And when they needed it, they were up 3-2 at that time, and it looked like Houston was starting to get that momentum. And Luke Raley delivers in a big way.
And credit to Mitch Haniger. Like, yes, he hasn't really done much, but he actually contributed well in this game. He got a walk and got a single.
Yeah, and it was the bloop single that extended the inning for Luke Raley. So credit it. And and there's Jen Mueller.
Who's she talking to? Luke Raley?
Luke Raley. Jenny. She's got a butterface, but damn, she's gonna anyway. So all I know is that this is something that you want to see, right? Because I mean, the Mariners have been dragged through the mud by their own fan base, and I'll tell you what, man, these are the type of things that kind of reinforce fans back together. Just when you think the wheels are starting to come off,
look at the sunglasses reflection. Imagine just looking at Jen Mueller at a first person's perspective.
Yeah, she's thirsty though. Jen's super thirsty. She loves being around the boys. You know what I mean?
She had some YouTube show with like Cal Raleigh and Logan Gilbert, quote, cooking food. I'm sure there had to be more than that. Come on.
Yeah, dude. Oh yeah.
Except Logan, I think he's married, so he can't.
Yeah, I'm just saying that Jen is thirsty. So yeah, I was impressed today because that's exactly what you need to reinstill confidence. That's the type of victory that was so much needed. So I'm happy to see it, and I'm glad. And it even the mistake to Yordan Alvarez, it didn't come back to bite them in the ass. Granted, Yordan hits for the cycle, so congratulations to him. But
the Mariners get the win.
But the Mariners get the win.
So I get to do a YouTube short on that, and the Mariners win. So that's a win-win because Yordan is like a top. He might actually be my favorite player because the Mariners My favorite player on the Mariners right now is George Kirby.
I don't know. Like, that's why light switches were invented. I don't know, man. See, that's the thing. Jen's got the butter face, but she's also got the body, though. Anyway.
Yeah, I know.
She's got the body. Yeah. I'll just say that, I was, man, that's the thing, man. These are the type of games that just reinforce that maybe they're not dead.
No, of course not. And and even if they lost, like, we can say that at least statistically they're not dead, but morally, of course, they would have been dead. But now you can go into the Angels series with, hopefully you would think that you'll get 2 out of 3 on that series. I'm going to say 2 out of 3 because Mariners are still a vulnerable team.
Right.
And who knows, maybe Oakland maybe they'll do some surprises, because that's what Oakland has done throughout the season, is do surprises. Like when they scored like 19 something runs. So Oakland is not exactly a horrible team. Like, they should be better than what their record says. So hopefully Mariners can take advantage of the fact that the Angels are playing and also get some revenge out of it. Chad, you're going to the game tomorrow, but if Jerry doesn't do anything, you won't attend again. I would agree. Don't go to the games if Jerry DePoe is not going to give us a good product, especially at that deadline. But what a game it was. And let's take a look at that stat line. It was, man, what was it? Okay, JP Crawford went 1 for 4. At least he got a hit. Victor Robles went 2 for 4, so he actually did contribute very well. Julio Rodriguez 0 for 3, and he got injured. So that's the other thing. I just hope that he's okay, because he tried to make that catch on Yordan Alvarez, but then he dropped the ball and it caused the triple. Ty France had a pathetic double play. Cal Raleigh 0 for 4, disgusting. At least Polanco hit a home run and went 2 for 4. Rojas 1 for 4. Haniger 1 for 2. We're saying that he actually had a pretty good game. Luke Raley with that home run, and Dylan Moore actually contributed to 2 RBI. So the bottom parts of the lineup did provide value for this team.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll say this, man, because and again, man, I look at this, and you were wondering if they would show up, if they would show a heartbeat, if they had any scrap in them, and they sure did. Here's the thing. I like JP's last at bat because that was quintessential JP Crawford, and you knew he was struggling, and you knew that he was having trouble with the fastball, but he was able to make something of it today. The stars of my game of today, like if you were going to have the 3 stars of the game, I think number 1 had to be Brian Wu. A lot of question marks with Brian Wu coming into the game, and I thought he pitched absolutely brilliantly. I think Brian Wu definitely needs some flowers. 5 2/3 inning, 2 runs on 4 hits. But it wasn't disastrous. He gave up the dinger to Yordan. Okay, great, but he was able to come back and play well. But I actually thought my other ones were Jorge Polanco, 2 for 4 today, including a big home run on his part. And we're talking about a guy who's been struggling, but he was able to make something today. And it looks like maybe he's starting to come around. And my third guy obviously was Luke Raley. And when you needed something clutch, man, Luke Raley showed up in a big way. So those are my positives for the day. But also just being able to understand that momentum was starting to go the other way, and the Mariners being able to take matters in their own hands and ensure they got a win today.
My positive takes of the game was, I'll give it to Victor Robles, because I got to change it up, because he has really surprised us. We're talking about him as a DFA candidate, but he did go 2 for 4. He did contribute. How about Dylan Moore with that? He is clutch when it's needed. Although he's not exactly an everyday player, there are times, though, he does step up to the occasion. And Jorge Polanco going 2 for 4 with that home run. And also we can agree that the bullpen somewhat held it together. Now, it's kind of easy to say that because Mariners already had a sizable lead. So who knows what could have been if the lead was much shorter. And Munoz, he only needed 12 pitches to get 3 strikeouts, which is unbelievably impressive. That's nearly, if anything, he nearly had an immaculate inning, if you think about it.
my moment of consequence in this game came when they didn't walk Yordan Alvarez, and they elected to go to the bullpen to bring in a lefty versus him. And of course, the track record and the crazy thing is Scott Service is not going to learn from this at all. And it's like, listen, man, there's a time and there's a place for matchups, but in that situation with first base open, you walk them, and then you pick your poison with the next guy. The good news is there that double play that basically killed the inning, and they were able to escape with only 1 run of damage. And so, so I guess in some respect it paid off. But that being said, it's like there's still moments in the game where you're wondering where Scott Service's mind is at.
Yeah, I mean, we could say as much as we could, but unfortunately, I got to head going because hashtag don't quit your day job. Got work coming up. So everyone, thank you very much for being on this show. And I think we're looking at Wednesday as our next possible show. So that's when we'll be talking about Mariners, and hopefully the Mariners will have won the series by then. So we'll see. But everyone, thank you very much. And PD Master, I'll pay you back the $1.50 that I owe you because of a home run by Luke Raley. And everyone have a good day and go Mariners.
Go Mariners.